What is the TP family and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple. Education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading. What is the TP family and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple. Education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading. What is the TP family?
Hi, TP family, and welcome to another TP Masterclass. My name is Tennessee Shells, and I want us to start by showing some love. So tell me where you're tuning in from today. Are you in Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa? Let me know in the comments so that I can give you a shout out. If you're in UK, US, you're always welcomed here because you guys are always locked in. And we truly appreciate how you always keep showing up. And if you're also watching the replay, as always, just put replay in the comment section below. And we will know that you tune in into the replay of this TP Masterclass. And also, if you're a first timer, right here on the TP Masterclass for the first time, you're joining us. We want to say a big welcome to you. Just drop or say that you are first time here in the chat. And then once I come back on again, I'll give you a shout out and welcome you to the TP Masterclass. Because this is not just a class, it's a family, and we are glad that you found us today to join us on this journey together. And if you are new and you are wondering where to begin, do not worry. We have set up a trading Psychology TP Masterclass playlist right here on the YouTube. You just go on the YouTube channel, and then you click into playlist, and then you should see TP Masterclass. Start from the first one and especially watch what is really trading psychology. That episode will help you understand why we are doing this and what is the community is really about, because we don't just talk about just the charts or the news. We also deal with the mindset behind the trades that we take individually. Another simple thing that we also have introduced to the TP Masterclass is that from Monday to Friday, we post what we call the TP declarations. It's just a picture with few powerful words written on it. Whenever you see it, do not scroll past it. Pause and read it out loud. Speak it over your day. We post it very early in the morning. So by the time you probably wake up before landing session, it should be on our YouTube community tab. So make sure you always tune in and you declare it over your day before you enter the market, and you need to enter with the right mindset. So that's why we also introduce that system for the TP Masterclass. So always make sure that you are saying these quotes to align with your trading journey for that particular day. So before we also begin, let's take a moment to just settle into this atmosphere that we are about to receive information from everyone that will be presenting today, from Willis to Kema to Cliff. They will be introducing powerful information for your impact. So make sure that you avoid all distraction and you don't just watch us, you participate with the session that is going on. Okay. Now, before I also leave right now, I want you to remember that this space is built for healing, clarity, and truth. And if anyone in the comments is saying anything out of the ordinary, spamming, or distracting others, I will quietly remove you. It's not anything personal against you, it's just the rules that we have set here for the TP Masterclass to make sure that we protect the atmosphere that we have set up until now. So it's not anything personal. So if you get removed from the comments, just don't hate us. Just make sure to work on yourself for the next TP Masterclass. And then you wouldn't get removed anymore. Okay. So without any further talking, let's just get started, and make sure to put where you're tuning in from in the comments. And when I come back, I will give you guys a shout out. Thank you.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a
All right. You know the drill. You know how this goes. I want to confirm if you guys can hear me okay in the chat. Just drop some number ones, give me a signal, give me some type of indication that my sound's okay, that I don't look too light, don't look too dark. Yep, that's brilliant. Guys, once again, happy to be here. Welcome to another TP Masterclass. Just like to give a big thank you and shout out to Tennyson Shells for the intro of the TP Masterclass. Always does an excellent job. And yeah, I'm excited to be here to go through another book summary or book review. As you guys were here next week, I'm assuming all of you were here, but for those of you that were not here, I'd like to also say welcome. We do this book review. I just really want to remind every single person because it's quite important, especially if you're brand new. We're doing this book review as part of the TP Masterclass to transform our minds. For me, specifically, to build quality habits. I say that in particular because let me apologize one more time. My name is Willis Arome, somebody who's been trading for 4.5 years. I'm a husband, I'm also a father, and I'm excited to be here. But the thing that I was just about to share with you is that reading books is something that I struggled with. In fact, I was introduced to the idea of reading books, as in properly reading books and studying books, probably about over a decade ago. And till now, I'll say till, and especially starting with the TP family or just being here, has been a massive, massive, massive struggle. And it's not because I haven't completed books before. I have, in fact, completed books. I've completed books such as The Compound Effect, but in fact, that took me maybe 3 years to finish. Only God knows why. And yeah, here and there, I just haven't been able to maintain that discipline, right? But the reason that I'm also doing this is, number one, we're building habits. We want to become creatures of habits. Number two, remember that we are all here as a family, as part of the vision to fix our minds so that we can fix our decision making, to become better people. And also better people will create better traders as well. Of course, I know many of you, if not all of you, are already trading. All right. So it's just something that I want to remind each and every single person of what the goal, the aim, and the vision is, especially when it comes to this particular segment of our session today. All right. So for the last couple of weeks, we were going over the psychology of money. And last week, I gave you a little bit of an informal introduction to the current book of the month. All right. So the book of the month is The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Okay. The Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. Believe me, I haven't even got halfway to this book yet. And the things that I'm already reading is already, it's more like a revelation. It's more like an eye opener. Some people might say it's more like an aha moment. And I've had so many of these moments in the first half. I haven't even reached midway of the book, but I've had so many of these moments so far just by observing, just by reading this book. Okay, so I pray that it does the exact same thing for you. And I can already see the chat, so keep the chat going, keep the chat live. I can already see the PTFAR concepts or the TFAR concepts. All right, and we definitely went through that last week. Okay, so just to simplify it, the P, well, I'll say from this point, the TFAR concept, the T, it stands for think. Okay, the T stands for think, right? The F, it stands for feeling or feel. The A, it stands for action, or what I would like to say as application. I like that idea of application. Okay, and the last part is results. Okay, in that format, in that regard, in that particular order, right, is basically how our thought process goes from thoughts to results. And we are all a product of the type of results we have today in one way or another. And this is exactly what we're going to be going through today. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit of the direction of how we're going to take the next couple of weeks when it comes to the secrets of the millionaire mind. Okay. So if you guys are doing your homework and if you guys are even reading the book the same way I am, you guys will know that this book is even divided into part one, part two, and I believe part three, but it's divided into multiple different segments that goes over principle one, principle two, multiple different principles. Okay. And what I'm going to do today is go through just a few of the principles. Before I do that, I did promise I'll do my best every single week to share some type of testimony of how my week went when it came to trading. Okay. And I will try my best to keep up that promise. So this week was a little bit of a break-even week. But there's also a breakthrough part to that I'm going to share with you just in a moment. But it was a break-even week. I took a few losses during the start of the week. As you guys already know, I don't trade Mondays. I take that as a reset day. And I trade from Tuesday to Friday. And yeah, I took a few losses, and then I basically regained all my profits by the end of the week. Okay. But the breakthrough moment for me is, and I said this before whilst going through our previous book segment, is I no longer get excited when it comes to results. In fact, I'll give you one better. I realized that I don't even look at the profits and the loss anymore. I just look at the take profit and the stop loss, and that is it. I don't even, on my MT5, I don't even switch to look at the P&L where it shows the money that I'm making or the money that is in drawdown. I just literally just focus on the price action, and that's all I've done. And I think I'm really proud of myself because I've come a long way from just looking at, this is the money that I expect to make, and I want the money, and I'm focused on the money. I'm not focused on the process. Okay. So in that regard, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it's all about the mind. It's all about how we think. How we think affects how we feel, and how we feel affects the applications, the actions that we take. And eventually it will reflect on the type of results, not only that we want, but the results that we will eventually see. Hopefully that is making sense to everyone. Okay. But question number one for each and every single person is blueprint. What is a blueprint? That's where I want to start off. Okay. What in fact is a blueprint? Well, if you were to go online and search Google, maybe you decide to use ChatGPT or any type of medium to understand what a blueprint is. Here's a basic, simple definition for you. A blueprint is a pre-designed framework or a program that determines how something will turn out. Okay, it's right there for you. A blueprint is a pre-designed framework or a program that determines how something will turn out. Okay, here's a further definition. A blueprint is a detailed plan or a guide that outlines how something is intended to be built or structured or achieved. That is very, very detailed and very important. And the term originally comes from architecture and engineering, where a blueprint is a technical drawing used to construct a building and a machine. Okay. How is this even relevant? Well, when it comes to the money blueprint, which is what the book talks about, okay, the money blueprint, in fact, is more to do with the behaviors, the subconscious way of thinking, the programming, the beliefs, the thoughts, the feelings, the habits that basically shapes who we are today based on who we were in our childhood or even our life experiences. Why, number one, am I sharing this with you, and why is this, in fact, very, very important? Because you have to understand, just like a building, you cannot begin to put brick by brick, and try to build a tower and expect that tower to maintain its stature. It will eventually crumble. Why? Because there is no foundation. In fact, in order to even build that foundation, there needs to be a blueprint. Very, very simple. There needs to be a blueprint. There needs to be an intention as to what the outcome should be. In the exact same regard, the way or the type of person that we want to become, the results that we want to achieve in life, in business, in sales, in trading, it has to be intentional. It has to be intentional. Okay. Now, if I'm speaking right now to somebody who's new to trading, in their first 90 days, in their first year, I'll take it you're still probably a baby, even if you're in your first 2 years. And yes, we do have the odd people who really stuck at it. They got it in a year. They actually understand the language, the lingo. That's great. Good for you. Right? But I'm going to be speaking specifically to people who are brand new. Why? Because we were all once in that position. Okay. When it comes to building the structure of a successful trader, we first of all have to identify where our thinking came from. Just like what the money blueprint suggests, that our subconscious way of thinking is a programming that comes from our childhood, our behaviors, the things which we accidentally learned, just like that, without even knowing. Our money habits, our behaviors, what we understand money to be. Just like, for example, growing up, most people or some people may have been in a situation where they said, oh, money is the root of all evil, instead of understanding that the love of money is the root of all evil, right? So subconsciously, we know that people that have a lot of money are usually arrogant when it's not really the case. What's another example of a form of thinking or a money blueprint that somebody may have? Let's talk about relationships. Some people's idea of an ideal relationship is to have many girlfriends or many partners, right? Rather than be with one particular partner or one woman, or if you're a woman, one particular man, and decide to take life seriously, take life to the next level, want to start a family. Okay. And then sometimes transitioning, this is very actually profound thinking about this. I can't believe I'm sharing this, but sometimes now transitioning from a place of this is just my norm, and then deciding to want to get married. For some people, it's actually a major issue. In the same regard as a trader, you want to become a successful trader carrying habits that are yet to be discovered. They're yet to be discovered. Why? Because you haven't placed your first trade yet. You have the idea of wanting to become a successful trader, but you have not placed your first trade. Or let's just say you're a year into trading and you've been doing so well, you've been copying and pasting, you've been, you've had a good streak, but you have not gone through a losing season yet in order to find out how you feel and what you're going to do about it. Okay. But the first point of transformation, I think we must have heard this a thousand times. The first point of transformation is admitting that I'm in a place where I need to fix the way I think. Why? Because we know the slogan right now. When you fix the way you think, you can change the way you feel. And when you change the way you feel, it will then alter your actions to apply the right principles in order to get the results and the outcome that you want at the end of it. I hope this is making sense. So it's important to understand what a blueprint is, and also what the money blueprint is, and then also identify, okay, what in fact is my money blueprint? I'll give you an example of me personally. Okay, what is my money blueprint? Growing up, I remember I used to think there was a massive gap between people who are successful. I remember attending business meetings in the past, many different opportunities. I'm somebody that's been involved in network marketing for a number of years in the past. And one of the very first meetings I attended, the person was suited and booted, was making around £24,000 a month as a minimum. And for me, I was just I was just amazed. I was like, wow. And I just knew in my mind that, one day I wish to be like this person. One day I desire to have the results and have the level of thinking that this person has. One day, right? Now, yes, I continue to attend the meetings. I continue to go to the events. I continue to do the trainings. I continue to try my best. I just try my best based on what I currently know, based on the way I'm thinking, right? However, the gap for me, if I really sat down maybe 11 years ago and said, Willis, do you really believe that you could get to the level of making 24,000 every single month, just like this particular individual? The reality is, I'll probably be very, very shy about it. I'll probably be very shy about it. But the answer would have been no. The answer would have been, it's very far-fetched, but I'll be happy with another £1,000 per month. That was just my way of thinking. That was my limiting beliefs. Now, what in fact lies, in my opinion, the gap between where I was and the person at the time that I was admiring, in terms of his possessions, in terms of his achievement. For me, it was just structure. For me, it was the know-how. It was the understanding of how he thinks, asking the right questions, surrounding myself, the proximity between amongst the people that I was surrounded by. The point that I'm making here is understanding where I currently am and finding out what it takes for me to go from here to here. Honestly speaking, sometimes it's not very far-fetched. It's very doable, very, very possible, once you know how to do it. Okay? So that's the foundation that I want to start off from. Now, I did mention that we're going to go through many, many wealth principles. If you are reading the book and following with me, you will know there are many wealth principles that the author goes through. Okay, but here's principle number one. Okay, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. If I learned this earlier and I applied this earlier, man, in a different place would I have been today. But your income will only grow to the extent that you do. And this is the reason why we often see or hear of millionaires that win the lottery and give it maybe 5-10 years, even more, at most, their lives are just right back down to the mindset that they had previously. In fact, they're probably even worse off. They're on drugs, they're doing so many different things. Let's talk about trading. You get a big W. You get the big W, you make $500 in a particular trade. In fact, here's even a worse one. Rather than closing position, let me even just talk about myself and let me expose myself a little bit. I deposited $1,000 once upon a time. Maybe this was something like 2 years ago, right? And I have if there's something you know about me, I have no business trading gold. Not because I don't want to. I'm just better at trading what I trade. I trade the DAX and I trade NAS 100, right? I have no business trading gold. But my ideal was I needed to make, out of the £1,000 capital, I needed to make, I wanted to make at least something along the lines of £400 per day, $400 per day, right? $400 per day trading gold every single day. Okay, so on day one, on Monday, $400, day two, $400, day three, and so on and so forth. Now, on day one, $200. Okay, great, perfect. On day two, I made $400. Now, bear in mind, I'm getting very annoyed. I'm getting upset. I'm frustrated. I'm like, but my target is $400 per day. My target is $400 per day, and I'm getting very, very agitated and frustrated. Like, okay, cool. I've just got it. I got 150. I got 200. Let me just take another setup. Okay. Now it's floating in profit of around about $300, but I don't close it. Nor do I even bring my stop loss to a level whereby I'm now risk-free of a trade. So what ends up happening? It goes into profit. It reverses. I'm now minus 600 because I've lost the profit that I've made previously, and I've lost the floating profit rather than closing it because of greed, because this is money that I've never seen floating before. And I'm like, you know what? It needs to go more. It needs to go more. What if I can double my account? I've seen people do it before, so I'm in this position. What if I can double my account? And bear in mind, I'm doing all of this, on my phone. I don't have any charts. I'm not analyzing anything. In fact, I have analyzed it, but I've just done it on my phone. Unprofessional, in my opinion, based on where I was at the time. Okay, why? Because my mindset at the time was not ready for maturity when it comes to trading, and it was not at the level whereby, my mindset had increased to making the type of money that I wanted to make. Trading gold, and even in trading in general, it's very important. And how many people has that ever happened to before? I'm going to leave you guys in a comment to maybe discuss amongst yourself, or maybe put in a comment, right? But I'm sure it's happened to many of us multiple different times. And it took for us to lose and lose again, and blow the account for us to learn our lesson. Okay. Maybe I'll just give you a little bit more, one more, right? I traded news before. I traded CPI. I was on my way somewhere and I was trading CPI, waiting for the news outbreak to come out. And yeah, I lost my entire account because I just simply wanted to make back the money, and I knew the volatility was going to be crazy. Right? I'm just giving you all my dark secrets just today. My point is, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Whether you like it or not, the market is going to humble you. Whether you like it or not, the market is going to teach you a lesson when it comes to trading. So be sure to understand that our slogan, think. The way we think affects the way we feel. So if the way I'm thinking at the time affects the way I feel, I'm feeling agitated, feeling upset and annoyed, rather than grateful, rather than I'm so happy and I'm grateful that I didn't make the 200, but in fact, I made more than somebody's daily wage in profit in trading, instead of saying that, I'm saying I haven't hit my daily goal. Because of the lack of gratitude, I lost the money, I blew the account. I hope this is hitting home for somebody today. So your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Okay? Here's another principle I want to share with you today. It's that if you can change the fruit, in fact, reverse. If you want to change the fruit, you first have to change the root. And if you want to change what's visible, it must be done first invisibly, or you must change what's invisible. Okay? I hope this is hitting home for somebody. What does that even mean? Oftentimes, when we look at a plant, we never observe and say, wow, what beautiful roots. Oh, the roots look amazing. No, nobody does that. Nobody probably even observes it. In fact, you look at the fruit on the tree, you look at how beautiful the leaves are, you look at how, how well strengthened or structured the tree has been and it hasn't broken. But nobody pays attention to the root. Why? Because you can't even see it, but you know it exists. You know that without the root, the tree will not exist. Everything in life is basically the same. So when it comes to trading, if you do not address some of these dark places that a lot of us have been through or a lot of us are currently in right now, such as, why do I over leverage? Why is it that I'm actually very intelligent and I'm a smart trader? I know what my position is. I know what my setup is. But every time I get an opportunity, even if it's just a second, 1 second before I should take off my setup, I take the setup a second earlier and then my setup appears afterwards, but now it's too late. Every single time it happens, subconsciously you're like, you know what? Let me just see what happens. I'm overconfident. Let me just see what happens. And then you regret it when the trade does not go in your favor. Your aim must have been to take 1 trade, but you've now taken 4 trades. And maybe the profit that you would have made is now just regaining your balance back to a break even. So you have to observe what the root cause of these instances are. It's very important to understand that. Okay. What is the root cause to the reason why we behave the way we behave? Guess what? The root cause is the way we think. Oftentimes, the book will address how a rich person thinks and how a poor person thinks, and you're going to see that throughout the entire book, right? But just as an example, in the previous thing that I mentioned, is that from a broke standard or somebody who's even not grateful, oftentimes it's even a lack of gratitude. It's a lack of gratitude for what they have and even the little that they can steward and they can even multiply. That's how a rich people will think. A rich person, they will observe what they currently have and say, okay, great. I'm just looking for the opportunity here. What can I do? What can I do more? How can I grow in this particular area? Whereas a broke person or somebody who's poor, in fact, sorry, there's a difference between broke and poor, by the way. But let's just assume that they're in the same category here. But the difference between a rich person and somebody who's not so rich is now the person who's broke and doesn't have the results of the rich person. Oftentimes they're ungrateful. Look, let's be honest with each other today, please. At some point in our lives, we've been ungrateful in certain situations. We've been ungrateful rather than do the corny thing. Sometimes, look, I'll say it as it is. In the moment when you should be grateful, you'll be like, you know what? It's okay. I'll give you another one. Let's just say, I'm not going to give you another example, but let's just say, for example, you made £1 today. Instead of thinking I've made £1 or I've made $1, you're thinking I could have made $500 today. Rather than thinking I've made £1 today, that's £1 more, and I'm not in drawdown. I thank God I didn't lose into my stop loss of £250, for example. It's just these little things of gratitude, understanding how to be grateful for what you currently have. It's also a root. Maybe growing up, you didn't have that kind of relationship to be grateful with other people. Maybe somebody wasn't very grateful to have you in their lives when you were a lot younger, or even in a past relationship. But these things, they definitely do show up in the market eventually. It shows up as fruit in our lives if we do not address these things. I hope I'm making sense to somebody today. So understand that in order to change the fruit, you have to first change the root. First, change what's invisible. What are examples of something that's invisible? Can anybody here on the chat just type in, if I say the word please, I'm just thinking randomly, right? If I said the word please, what comes to mind? Anybody, somebody in the chat, anyone? I just said the word please. What comes to mind when I say the word please? Someone said yes, sir. Polite, okay. Polite. All right. I'll take one more. Thank you. Okay, please and thank you. Okay. Request. Okay, cool. There's all of these different ideas. Can you guys see the words that came out of my mouth? The word please as a spelling, P-L-E-A-S-E. You can't see it. It's invisible. But guess what? The whole comment section is feeding off the word please and has different things to say about it. Can you see the power of words? You see how every single person is interacting. Why? Because they have an understanding of what please is. Some people say humility. Some people say respect. The point I'm trying to make here is sometimes our words, in fact, every single time our words, they have an effect on our behavior. They have an effect on our behavior, how we think, how we are grateful for the things that we have, and even the things that we don't have. So this is the reason why it's important to speak quality things over yourself, to speak life, to repeat the affirmations and the declarations that we have every single day. I make it a task for myself to go on the page for the TP Masterclass and repeat the affirmations, as we all should be doing. Why? Because I know that it has a positive impact on the way I think, number one. And then after a positive impact on the way I think, I begin to feel something different. The way I feel begins to change. And when the way I feel begins to change, my application starts to change. Just like I said, now sometimes I'll be in the market and I'm just watching the price action. I'm not looking. I'm not addicted to my P&L. I'm comfortable just looking at my price action. Now the market is jumping. It's going very, very close to my take profit, and I have no emotions. I'm just can't wait for the trade to be done and over so I can go about my day, or I can go and sleep and rest or do something else. I'm no longer emotionally attached, right? Because now what am I doing? If I go back to the beginning, my slides talk about programming. Okay, the money blueprint is a subconscious financial programming. What am I doing? I'm programming the way I think, programming the way I feel. So that's what changing my application. My habits are now beginning to change. And when my habits are beginning to change, I'm getting the results and the outcome that I want. The results and the outcome that I want in my particular trading. Yes, great, money is a major part of it, but also somebody who's very calm all the time. Somebody who's always growing constantly. That's another trait of a rich person. They're always looking for ways to grow. As much as they might have much, they're always looking for ways to grow. They're humbling themselves to a particular place and say, you know what, there's something that I can learn from this particular situation. Hopefully that makes sense for everyone. But the most important thing here is this. You cannot change the fruit. You can't change the fruit. You have to change the root. You cannot look at the mango and say, I wish the mango came out yellow, and you start to paint it yellow. Okay, it's a green mango, but you start to paint it yellow. The reality is, if the seed comes out of that mango and you plant it, it's going to reproduce as a green mango again and again and again, as much as you paint over it. So you've got to change the root cause of the seed or the root. Okay, hopefully that made sense for every single person. Okay. And like I mentioned to you before, each and every single week, we're going to be going through multiple different principles, as many principles as possible, just to ensure that you guys are all on the same page. Okay. I'm going through these principles myself. A lot of the things I haven't even realized I've applied, and a lot of these things, of course, that I'm learning as well. Okay. But I think one of the major things I'm excited about with this book is the wealth profiles that goes on in chapter or part 2 of the book. Okay. But if there's anything I want you to take away from this segment today, I've mentioned it already. Okay. Number one, your income can only grow to the extent that you do. Please prioritize your growth in your mind. Okay. And then also, you cannot change who you are in terms of the physical to get the results. What you can do is change the inside, change the way you speak. And when you change the way you speak, it's of course altering the way you think. And the way you think will, of course, alter the way you feel, which results in how you apply certain things to get the results that you want at the end of it. You guys already know the game. My name is Willis Arome, coming to you today with the book summary of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And I'm excited to go through this, as always, locking arms and holding hands, and also growing with each and every single person. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and I hope you guys enjoyed this particular segment. Peace out, and God bless.
What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry. If you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple. Education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading. What is the TP?
Hi, TP family. I am back again, Tennessee Shows. I just want to shout out a few people because I said so the last time you saw me to put in the comment section where you're tuning in from. And we have Brooklyn, USA, Abuja, Nigeria. We have Ghana, India, New York City, Thailand, South Africa, Cape Town, and we also have some few first timers. We have Davis. She said she is a first timer. Hello, welcome to TP Masterclass. You are welcome to the TP family. And we also have I think I saw another first timer. I don't see it anymore, but if you're a first timer, welcome to the TP Masterclass for the first time, and I hope you stay throughout the session because it's going to be packed with a lot of information. And I also want to just come on here and also thank Willis for the amazing presentation that he gave us regarding Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Great book. So make sure that you also don't miss the next sessions that will be coming during the next few weeks. Okay. And before I leave you guys, I just want to say that this is a very serious reminder, because last week we had someone that wanted to distract us, but God being so good, I was able to, remove the person from the live session, and everything was smooth from there. So this is a very serious reminder. This space is built for healing, clarity, and the truth. And if anyone in the comment section is saying anything out of the ordinary, trolling, distracting others, and spamming others with unnecessary things, I will remove you from the live session, and you wouldn't be able to do anything else while we are streaming, and you wouldn't even be able to watch us. So if you want to stay with us throughout the live session, make sure that you're not posting anything that will distract everyone else and take away from what we are truly here to receive. Okay, it's not anything personal, it's just about protecting the atmosphere that we have built for the TP Masterclass. And because some people are really here to really transform their minds and really learn from every session that we have. So please be respectful and respect everyone. Be polite, respectful, and humble throughout this masterclass, and to be able to make sure to receive from the sessions. Okay, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me.
Hello, wonderful people out there. Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, kindly give me some ones in the comment section. Let me just know that you can hear me. If you can hear me, just give me some ones. 1 or 2 will do. Just so I know you can hear me. Anyone at all? Anyone. Great. Nelson says he can hear me loud and clear, means that everybody else should be able to hear me. My name is Kema Trades, and I am delighted to be here once again, back to back. This TP family has done wonderfully well for the entire trading community, and we will keep doing this over and over again. We bless God for health. We bless God for the wisdom that He gives us. Mostly we pray before we come onto the session, and our main topic is the fact that whatever we speak should come from Him. We should be enlightened, and we should be able to send across message to the ones that actually need that particular message. So whenever I come on the session, one of the things that I tell myself is there may be someone out there who needs what you're about to talk about. And that is what has kept me moving on and on. You all keep me moving every single time. Thank you so much for constantly being on the session. And then also I want to say a big thank you to Willis. Willis, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. I really love every bit of it. You helped me to be able to go through my books once, and then over and over again. The understanding is impeccable. Thank you so much. And then also thank you so much to Shells. You have been wonderful. Guys, today is no different. I'm coming in here with the same mindset. I'm a vessel. I'm going to communicate the message that has been given to me to be able to give to you all. Constantly when I'm coming on here, what I do is I present, like a slide, and it's not going to be different today. Just that today it's not going to be too many slides. It's just, like 2-page slide that I want to present to you all, right? And I believe it's going to be a blessing to someone. So if my team could just pull up what I have on the screen, it would be really helpful. So let me just, right when you're pulling it up, let me just go straight to the point. Today, I'm going to tell you an interesting story. I might have told it before on my socials, and then you might have heard it before on my pages, but I'm also going to be reiterating that same story here today. And I'm going to further, elaborate on what happened, and then what we were able to do in order to thwart that. And if anyone is here who has been in that position before, this is your platform to be able to learn. So the following is a true story. On July 15th, 2020, somewhere around 2021, we had one student come to us to come and learn the dynamics of trading the market. So he was lectured on one of the very important practices in trading. It's called tape reading, right? Now, tape reading is an integral part of market structure. So it has been used by most of the avid retail traders like Jesse Livermore, Stanley Druckenmiller, Andrew Krieger, Bill Lifchus. So many of these traders have stated in their books, right, or manuscripts written about them that indeed they have had and then practice tape reading, right? And subsequently, I would help delve into that particular topic of tape reading. It's really interesting, right? Now, Tony got this particular system of trading the market, and then he waited for about 2 days, right? Assimilated the information, and now he came into the market. Now, when he came into the market, guess what? Tony didn't have enough. He just deposited $80 into his trading account, right? $80 US into his trading account, and then Tony started, trading that particular account with this system that he had been taught. Now, within 9 days, Tony flipped that $80 US dollars to $10,100 US within 9 days, just 9 days, right? And interestingly, the space allows you to be able to do even more than that. People do that in a day, 2 days, So Tony did this in 9 days, and without any specific kind of blueprint, spreadsheet or anything handed to him, just being lectured on the dynamics of tape reading and then moving forward, right? Not much technical analysis done. He turned that $80 to $10,100 US in 9 days. Now, this is very amazing. Why? Because that, if you check the percentage rate, that is about 12,252%, right? I know offhand that amount of percentage because I've done a video on it and I had to calculate it to be able to do that particular video. So that was the amount of profit that Tony did. And guess what? It was without any basic market knowledge. Just keep that in mind. Without any basic market knowledge, just this particular system of trading the market. Now, the interesting thing is on a 10-day, Tony blew the entire $10,100 on the market. And the question was, why? What exactly is going through your head right now? Put it in the comment section. Let me take a look at some of these things, right? You can't fathom it. You can't exactly think about it. So just that way, we're actually, like taken aback. You blew the $10,100 US. And even some of us were even saying, Tony, you could have even changed your phone. Just your phone, or like your laptop that you use for trading. Like change something around you that we know that, okay, you have been able to get this from trading, right? But he didn't. And we kept on asking him so many questions. Now, I interviewed him. And so that is why I'm able to be in the position to say this. Now, when I interviewed Tony, Tony said that he did not speak to most of his family members for about 90 days. People that he was very, very close with. He had a very close proximity with these individuals, right? Tony did not speak to these individuals for about 90 days. People from his workplaces and then all kept on. And when I talk about talking, about conversation, not, like just basically being asked a question and answering, right? These are people that he used to have conversations with. And then he just sat back and then was not talking to these people at all. So now I asked him, what exactly was going through your mind? Now, whenever you ask him a question, we are just used to watch Tony struggle for words because he himself did not even understand what exactly happened. And so finally, when he was able to gather his words, this was what he said. He said he wanted to take the amount to $100,000 before he withdrew, like that particular capital of the market. And some of us on the market find ourselves in this position over and over again. In the comment section, you hear, like people say, greed, right? Should have taken half of it. But when you are put in the position, trust me, you might have done the same thing altogether. Being a new trader coming into the market, being taught a system that is working brilliantly. You have moved $90 all the way to $10,100 US. Guy, you are going to think it is possible to get to $100,000. And nothing might even click. That guy, withdraw some of that profit off of the market, keep it somewhere, and then continue that particular phase, right? Nothing might come into your mind. So when you are not in the position where that is happening to you, you can be able to advise. There's a popular quote like that. You can be able to advise because you are not in the shoes of the individual. But when you're in the shoes of the individual, trust me, you might not necessarily be able to tell yourself what you are telling, like us right now. I'll be getting. Now, the interesting thing is, a lot of people would ask the question, why exactly, did that happen? And greed and then all being able to have more on the market and then all would come in. What I want to explain to a lot of people today is edge on the market is built by repeatedly trading based on a plan, based on what? A plan, and then also having what? Mental control. Edge is simply one thing happening over another. If I say I'm going to jump over a line, and every time I jump over the line, I am able to do that. Your edge is based on the fact that every time I jump over the line, or most times when I jump over the line, I am able to successfully drop on the other side. Now, if I'm not able to do that, you might not entirely have an edge. Or if I'm not able to do that consistently, I might not entirely have an edge. But because I know that 8 out of 10 times, if I jump over this line, I'm able to land successfully on my foot on the other hand, every time I could tell people, oh, I'm able to do this, and freely be able to do that. I'll be getting it. That is where edge comes from. So edge comes from repetition of one thing and being able to realize that that repetition or that particular thing that you are repeating is always what, or most often, a greater percentage of it comes in your favor. And so when we come into the market and we are talking about edge on the market, we are basically talking about you being able to repeatedly do something over and over so much that not 100% of the time, but at least a greater percentage of the time. When I talk about a greater percentage of the time, it basically means 60% or 50, even 51% of the time out of the lot. Because the moment you take 51% as positive, it means the negative comes to 49%. It means the negative falls short of the what? Of the positive. And that is how edge is built. So edge is built by repeatedly executing trades based on one's true strategy that works best for them. Being able to see that particular strategy work over and over, knowing that at least even 51% of the time it is able to what? Do what like you are looking for it to do, is what? You exercising your edge. Now, edge can grow in the market and edge can be stronger in the sense that once an individual is constantly doing something, gradually you'll be learning things and adding on to your strategy. So there are people here who might need just a simple information to be added to their strategy to make it what? Stronger. But because they do not know that, they end up constantly putting aside their strategy and then chasing other people's strategy. Meanwhile, you might have been at that particular point that you just needed an information or a principle about market structure just to add on to it and then make that particular strategy the best for you ever. But because they did not have that information, or they did not have that patience to wait for that information, or they did not search enough, they miss out on that particular strategy, put it aside, and go and restart someone else's strategy. And guess what? A strategy is not necessarily putting into your hands and then you start and then everything is perfect. I remember last week when Wallace talked about the fact that sometimes you have to make it yours, which means that you have to inculcate yourself into that particular strategy, assimilate the information, and then from then on, based on your personality, you now move along and then what? And direct your path on that particular strategy. So it means that I can give you a strategy, but the way you apply the strategy might be entirely different from how I apply the strategy. And on, I've seen so many people do things in a certain way, even though I gave them a formula to be able to use. They did it in a certain way that I myself, I was surprised. I'll be getting. It's like driving a vehicle from point A to point B. I'm giving that particular vehicle, I'm going 50 kilometers per hour all the way from point A to point B, I arrive. The same car is given to another individual. The same route is given to another individual, but they are going 150 kilometers per hour. Now, what you realize is that these are two individuals sitting in the same vehicle, using the same route towards the same destination, but their approach to getting there is quite different. Now, I came here to tell somebody that you may pay for mentorship, right? You may pay for mentorship. And after that particular 2 or 3 day session that you have gone through, or that particular course, you will leave that particular area with a full conviction that I am going to milk the market. Nothing can thwart that confidence that you have in that moment. In fact, your mentor can be teaching something, and that moment you understand it so well. And so you move out of there and say, I am going to milk this market. This, between myself and this market, next week, Monday, this Philippine thing, it's not going to be easy, right? Now, when you left that particular premises, unfortunately, you realize that indeed you are wiser than you came in, but you are not so much skillful. These are two different things, right? You are wiser than you came in because information has been imparted to you, of course, but you are not so much skillful as in the practice of the strategy. So at the end of the day, you begin to ask yourself questions. And sometimes a lot of people twat, like different strategies and say, oh, this doesn't work, but it is working for other people. So at the end of the day, what is the key performance indicator? What is the component that makes it work for this individual, but does not allow it to work for me? That is what we are looking at today. So it gives rise to many other traders calling experts names and twatting their approach to other people. But at the end of the day, you get to realize that what? It might not necessarily be the approach. Why does this occur? Now, the reason is very simple, right? Edge comes with the system, but aside the system, you have to have a plan. And aside the plan, you have to be in mental control. So always, an individual, I'll tell people always this, right? You can be in a signal page where the mentor is winning, where the signal provider is winning 400 pips, 500 pips per trade, like 50 pips. But that one losing trade that comes in is going to blow your account. Guess what? It did not blow everyone else's account. It blew your account. Why did it blow your account? Your what? Your approach, your plan, your risk management inculcated into your plan, your trade management inculcated into your plan was entirely different from all the other people who are executing that particular system of trading. Now, when you enter a signal page, right, or if you join a signal provider, what you are doing is you are superficially saying that whatever strategy that individual is using, based on that strategy, they are giving out signals. And so you are copying that particular signals, giving a blind side to whatever strategy that they are using. Now, a lot of people go ahead and say, okay, I want to learn that strategy as well. So I would also know why exactly you are giving this signal at this point. So in any case, at a point where you give a signal that goes contrary to the particular system that you have taught us, then I'm going to have questions for you. Why this particular entry around this area? Because that is not what you said when you were telling me about your system. Is there a different system that you are using in this particular area? I'll be getting. But some of us might also copy blindly, and trust me, it would work. Why? Because the person, aside the fact that they are copying blindly on the blind side of the strategy that the individual is using, they are also having their own plan to the execution and then following that particular process. I hope you're following. Please, I hope you're following. If you're following, give me some fire in there. If you're following, give me some fire. Someone says funeral service. Right? If you're following, give me some fire in there. All right. Now let's move on. Now, why does this occur? This occurs because the first one, you do not structure your thinking in the same manner as the experts. Right? Sorry. You, that individual, do not structure your thinking in the same manner as the experts. So now this is a drop on you. That is why we basically talk about psychology and say psychology is really important. Why? Because you might have come to Kema, you might have come to Clifford, you might have come to Willis, and then they convey the system of trading the market to you. But the way they think when they are in a trade, how does Kema think when he's in a trade? When I'm in a trade and the trade is going against me, how do I think? I've been trading with Clifford for a while, so he knows that when I'm in a market and then it goes beyond 80 pips, I throw my SL to entry. But until that price hits 80 pips, my SL is not going to entry. It's either price is hitting a loss. But the moment price hits 80 pips, I'm going to come to entry. So I'm breaking even on that particular trade. Now, when market comes all the way down, that SL does not move. And so when market takes me out, I take it as such. And if I'm entering a trade and market does not hit that 80 pips, therefore my stop loss is not at entry and it's coming all the way towards the downside, I'm not going to say, oh, because it's coming all the way back down, I'm going to throw SL. No, it is a plan, it's a criteria. And therefore I must follow it. Because what happens is, in one moment, if you tell yourself, oh, let me move the stop loss, right? That's indiscipline right there, going against the plan that you have written for yourself. Now, when you move that particular stop loss, and it happens that once you move the stop loss, price did not take you out of entry. It just tapped into your entry area and then rejected off and then shot towards the upside. Guess what? Your brain, I've listened to Clifford Cheqona so many times to be able to state this emphatically, right? Your brain is wired in such a way that it wants you to be safe. So now it's going to take that as a system that would help you. And so from then on, whenever price is coming to your entry point without hitting that 80 pips target, where you do not have your stop loss at entry, if your brain is going to tell you the last time you remember when you throw SL to entry, this is what happens. So now you can actually throw SL to entry and then, like that would happen. But guess what? Price might not do that this time. And that is why we follow a system or we follow a plan and neglect the fact that there are improvises that could come along the way. I'll be getting. Some improvises are good. Some improvises are shared in discipline. And we must be able to understand that. I'll be getting. Now, when others teach you how they approach the market, chances are they only superficially teach you what they actually do. So when Kema teaches you how to approach the market or how he approaches the market, superficially, chances are he's telling you what he does on the market. What do I do to make an entry? What do I do to set my stop loss? What do I do to set my take profit target? When I'm done, I'm done. I might not necessarily add my thought part into it because naturally it is very difficult to be able to do that. I'll be getting. I'm giving you my mechanical process to approaching the market that I've developed over my time in the journey that I've had in this particular space. But I can't give you what I have gone through. I can't convey upon you that. So this is how I explain it, right? Fruit of the Spirit, gift of the Spirit. Let fruit of the Spirit be psychology. Let gift of the Spirit be system. These are the two keys that I'm giving you. If you come to me and I give you my system of approaching the market, I am giving you a gift. A system that I've developed over time on the market whilst being in here for the past 8 years. All the things and taking off the chaff and everything else, I'm putting that together and giving that to you. That is a gift. Because you can take that gift, cut for yourself a plan and a criteria, and within the next 6 months, you will be trading really, really good. So you don't have to go through the 8 years that Kema went through. Within 6 months of practice, you would have been able to get a hang of what exactly you are doing on the market. But you see, there is a side that is a fruit of the Spirit. And how does fruit come? You can't conjure up a fruit, like from the earth straightforward. You nurture the process. You get it? So, gift of the Spirit, fruit of the Spirit. You have to nurture the patience that Kema has when he's in a trade on the market. You have to nurture the kind of discipline that Kema has, and it might take you a while. So when we say that trading is a marathon, we are not talking about how you can flip with your strategy or whatever. We are talking about how long it might take you to be able to master the art of having patience on the market. How long it can take you to master the discipline in executing the plan that you have for yourself on the market. When we say trading is a marathon, that is what we are pointing to, not the kind of strategy that an individual is bearing. Someone can have the most awful strategy that gives them a percentage of about 51 win rate on the market, but with their plan, they would always thwart an individual's approach who has a system of about 80 to 90% win rate on the market. Do you understand what I mean? Let's move on. Now, it's not that, let me just put this across. It is not that these individuals want to deceive you, so they don't teach you everything. No. That is not it at all. It might be that these individuals themselves, even though they are in that position, do not really understand that the essential element of what they do is not even just the system that they are using to trade the market. So Kema is in the position of teaching another individual, but Kema might not understand that it is not just the system that he has developed that makes him or puts him in that position of constantly trading the market, constantly not losing his funds, constantly and gradually building profits along the way. It might not just be his system, but he himself does not understand that the essential element in there is not even just the system. I'll be getting. Now, even if they do, how would they convey it? That's the next part. Even if they do, how would they convey that particular emotional bit, that particular mental control? Okay, so Nelson G. Williams, take. I've given you my strategy, but also take. I'm giving you my market control. Take. I'm giving you my resilience on the market. I'm giving you my mental fortitude. I'm giving you my patience. I'm giving you my discipline on the market. Take. Come and pay $900. I'm bestowing upon you that mantle. Take it from today. You will wake up the next day, take a trade on the market. You will still shake. You will still shake. I'll be getting. That part is not technical. And we must be able to understand it. That part is not what? Technical. So this leads many to assume that perhaps either you need a certain kind of gift to be able to trade this market, or even putting trading aside, you need this kind of gift to be able to do certain kind of things, or they think that, oh, as for this one there, I can't do it. You need to be born that way to be able to do it. But my question to all of you in this area is, do you need to be born a doctor before you become a doctor? My question to all of you is, do you need to be born a teacher before you can explain things thoroughly to someone else? Do you need to be born a rich man before you assume the position of a rich man? No. There are things that individuals must be able to put in place. People say that perhaps one must have a certain kind of gift to be able to navigate this market in some way. There was a friend of mine who said that to me one time. He said, no, Kema, when those days when we were in school and Kasa, like when we watch you, we realize that no, you can't work in a normal, setting. You there like outside. And so he's not surprised that, like, no. Anybody could have picked up this and they could have been the best version of, or more than the best version of where I am currently. In fact, when I'm grading myself in trading, I tell people that I'm now 40% in my journey. There's a lot of space left, 60% more to go. And to me, that 40% is really appreciated. That's how I'm able to tell people that even if you're able to get 30% in your trading journey, trust me, you are good. And you just need to work on that particular extra bit to come on. Many people, as a result of all of these things, they become discouraged, right? And they leave the market because they believe that they do not have what it takes. But I'm here to tell somebody that if you are in any position, not just trading, if you are in any position, probably it means that there's something that you are missing out. Probably it means that there's something that you need to add to the equation. If it is not adding up, then it means a number is missing. If we have 10 as the final, or if we have 10 as the result, and the equation to get to the 10 is not adding up, it means there's a missing figure somewhere. And we need to find that particular missing component and add it to it. And so that's how we start an introspection. And we say, okay, what have we been able to achieve so far? Now, what do we need to get there? So it means that we need to start looking through and then finding information. What do they say we need to get there? This, that. You get all that information. And you're like, out of all of these, which ones am I missing out of? Which ones do I have? Now, the ones that I have, do I have a lot of confidence in being able to say that, as for these ones, I am very well versed in the topic. I am well avid when it comes to treating those particular ones or executing those particular ones before we actually put them on the side and then move on. If there are any loopholes in the ones that we have and then we think that they are not solid enough, it means that is the time for us to ground and make them solid. So we ask ourselves questions. What do I need? What is the final piece to make this area strong? I know that I'm good in this area, but what is the final piece that I need to make it strong? It's about mastering your mind. Then you move forward. I hope you understand me. Ladies and gentlemen, I came here today to tell you guys that whatever it is that you are endeavoring in, whether it is trading, whether it is any kind of business that you find yourself in, a lot of people, even mission, right? I have a few friends who are in the missions, and most people say, oh, Kema, there is a pastor, is a pastor. Because of the way I live, because of, like how they see me. I hope you understand. And most often I'm surrounded by reverend ministers and then pastors as friends, right? Now, the interesting thing is they started from somewhere. And when you see how these individuals started, most of them, they have done a wonderful job, but they needed to find the components, bring them together to be able to get here. Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, or wherever you find yourself, in whatever job area, if there is a need for you to find a missing component, this is the time for you to find a missing component. This is the time for you to spend a lot of time on that particular missing component, master that particular missing component, and add it onto your trading journey. And your life will never be the same. My name is Kema Trades, and I'll leave you for this evening, but I've not left you forever. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. If you have anything to say in the comment section, you can put it in there. You can put it in the comment section. We will tackle it.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind.
What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry. If you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple. Education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
I think big, I dream big, I trade smart. My thoughts align with wealth, success, and abundance. I deserve success because I work for it and stay disciplined. I let it go of doubt. I let go of fear. My mind is renewed every day with wisdom and strength. I focus on solutions, not problems. I attract profitable trades and opportunities. I am a successful, focused, and profitable trader. I am unstoppable and I am victorious. I am grateful for every opportunity to trade and grow. I give thanks for my progress, my lessons, and my success. I attract prosperity and I steward it wisely. Every day, I am becoming a better trader. My trading provides freedom and abundance. I speak life, blessings, and success into my trading journey. I am grateful for the wisdom to manage risk and profit. I celebrate my growth and resilience. My heart is full of gratitude. My mind is at peace. I am prosperous in my thoughts, my trades, and my life. I think big, I dream big.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, I mean, we do test the microphone to make sure everybody can hear us. So if you can hear me, just let me know in the comment section, and then we take it out from there. Can you guys hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's take it out from there. Today we are going to be talking about something very interesting, but I want to give a quick few announcement and then we will take it out from there, okay? First of all, we are so sorry if you have not still received your TP results yet. We've sent quite some number of you. We've sent almost 30 plus. And the reason why it's delaying than the usual is because, of course, we want everybody to be able to take the test. And I do have to go through the results, even though we have a system that helps us to pick patterns based on the answers and have an insight summary. But we still have to be able to, go through it, myself, and then create recommendation of what could help you based on the patterns that I saw in your test. And so you should check your spam, and also sometimes you check your email, check the spam, because maybe if you have not received an email from us before, then maybe you will go into the spam. So please do exercise patience. If you have not received yours, I'm doing my best to make sure each and every single person received yours. If you've received yours already, also you can highlight something in the comment section so that people will know that, yes, of course, we are truly sending them to you guys. That is number one. Number two, as you guys saw today, we have moved from the psychology of money, of the book of the month. I think I need to change the name from the book of the month to the book of the season because it took us a while to summarize psychology of money because we wanted people to really understand. And now we are on the secrets of the millionaire mind. If this is your first time that you are tuning in, I'm going to welcome you soon. But here at TP Masterclass, it's just not your regular masterclass. We try to capture a holistic structure of a body of knowledge so that you can be able to grow. So as you saw, we have book segment, we have, edge segment by our wonderful, host from Willis to Kema Trace the highest. So you guys should know that we are basically trying our best to make sure that we have many different segments here. Now we tried and we are still trying to add few to it. But as TP family, we try our best to make sure that there is a structure before execution. So if we start something and we feel like the structure, it wouldn't look consistent in our program, we try to pause. It doesn't mean we have stopped. For example, market watch. We want to be able to give the market watch in a way that will give more than just information, but a takeaway of what you should look at, in the week coming. It's not going to be like a signal or a trade idea, but you can be able to use our market watch to sort of understand the bias you should even look at the end of the day. So we are putting structures in place so that you understand. But the whole entire TP Masterclass as a structure, the goal is to really make this place a home for people so that they can be able to grow to become so that you can be able to grow to become the person you are meant to become. And so if this is your first time, it may look different from the usual way that you have been to trading masterclasses, or you have been to, or the way probably your mentor teach you, because this is not a company. This is not like we trying to keep people in the community. It's not that. This is a masterclass for everyone who wants to tune in to transform their mind to become the better version of themselves so that it can reflect in their trading. Because you may have heard me say this before, but your trading life and your actual life, they mirror each other. So if you understand that, you will know that there are so many different things that will be a little bit unusual to the average retail trader, but just you coming day in, day out, I promise you, by the grace of God, you will grow. You will grow. And so just be patient, keep on learning, keep on subscribing to the things. For example, declarations every single morning. Again, if the declarations is doing something for you without even you realizing why, just drop number ones in the comment section. So every single day from Monday to Friday, with exception with Saturday and Sundays, of course. But then from Monday to Friday, we do post declarations every single day, every single morning. All right. And I post these declarations is supervised by myself. So what that simply means is that the declarations don't go up just because we want people to have a post. I sit down, I meditate, I try to understand the direction of the week, but through so many different means. Sometimes I pray, I sometimes sit down and say, okay, we learned this yesterday, stuff like that, to make sure. That is why sometimes the declaration hit home, because it is something that speaks to me myself before you guys also hear it. So make sure that every single Monday to Friday you are there, declaring. And believe me, if you practice this, it is very, very powerful. So these are a couple of few announcements. The last thing is that, again, some of you guys have been waiting for so long, but it's almost there. It's almost there. Finally, the book that we have been writing, I would say that the book that, we have been putting effort to deliver to the community is almost here. I'm gonna release the title later on. Not now, not today, but the book is almost ready. And I'm super excited for this book because this book is packed with so much value that you have no idea. After reading this book, I believe that your life will not remain the same again. I truly believe that, mentally. So just be expectant. And then if you are also a mentor here, again, I just want to say thank you to every single mentor that is always inviting their people to this masterclass every single Saturday. I literally know some of the mentors that say, hey, you should go and listen to this masterclass. And I appreciate you guys. The reason being because, number one, we are in an industry. People are always competing with themselves for no reason. I don't know why. Number two, people sometimes have an idea that two mentors or three or four cannot be in the same place. You guys are witnessing collaboration even between myself, Kema, and so on and so forth. So we really appreciate every single mentor that sends their people here. And also, if this is your first time, okay, just drop first time in the comment. And then I will welcome you myself and say thank you so much for tuning into today's masterclass. So thank you so much, everyone that keeps on coming day in, day out. I really, really appreciate you guys for giving your ears. We live in a generation where it's not easy for somebody to sit down for an hour or even 15 minutes listening to you. Who are you? Okay, who am I, Cliff, for you to sit here and say we are coming to listen to TP Masterclass? You know, no offense, but who is Kema? That he is the reason why you are here on the TP Masterclass. It is very interesting for people to sit down and listen to you. So we really, really thank you guys as well for coming on this masterclass. Now, with that all being said, if this is your first time, congratulations. Welcome to the masterclass. Today, we're going to be learning something very important. In fact, we are about to start a series. And this series is very important to me because it came as a result of me speaking to an individual I have so much respect for. And throughout the conversation, you know, I finally got the direction that I want to take this series to. And you guys are going to be blessed a lot. So just stay tuned and make sure that you really pay attention. I want you to make sure your atmosphere is charged. All right. Don't leave it to chance. Don't say, yeah, you know, don't worry, I'll be okay. If you are lying down, get up. If you are just sitting down, sit upright. And I want you to tell yourself that I am becoming. You are becoming. You are becoming. Day in, day out, you are becoming. You know, gone are those days we didn't understand, you know, life and principles and things. But now enough is enough, because we have realized that life is more than the things we believe. We have realized that life is more than the things you think you knew. We have realized that life is about laws and principles. It doesn't care about your sentiment. I say this all the time, whether you believe in the law of gravity or not. Gravity doesn't care. It will take you down and you might get hurt just because you are ignorant about the fact that if you jump from a 50th story building, you will go down. It doesn't care. And same thing with whether you want to become rich. Same thing whether if you want to have a happy home. Same thing if you want to build relationships. Same thing in everything. There are laws and principles in everything. And one of the law or principles when it comes to making money says that your income will only grow to the extent of your mindset. Some people call it limiting beliefs. Some of us also call it financial thermostat. The ability for your thermostat financially to be regulated to the desired amount of money you want to acquire. It is very important that you understand this. The mental transformation is not and cannot be an option. It is a law and a principle that if you fix your mind, you have fixed your life. And since trading is part of your life, listen to me carefully now. Trading is not all your life. Trading shouldn't be all your life. Trading is part of your life. What that simply means is that trading shouldn't be the only thing that you are. That when you look at somebody, they ask you, who are you? You say you are a trader. No. You are not a trader. You do trading, and we can summarize a portion of that life for you as a trader. However, it is a part of your life in a season and a part of you, not all of you. It's a dimension of you trained for you to become that trader. Now, before I go into today's topic, people normally ask me, Cliff, how do I become a trader? What I'm about to say may not make sense to a lot of people, but listen to me carefully now. People always ask me, Cliff, how do I become a trader? And I tell them this, that the how there is not the tools or the resources that comes into your hands. The how is one word. It's one word. And you have heard me say this over and over again, that the word CIDE, media, can we bring it up on the screen for me? Side. The word CIDE, it means to kill. It means to kill. So when you say pesticide, it means to kill a pest. insecticide. It means to kill an insect. And when you say homicide, it means an individual unfortunately has caused harm to another fellow, which simply means the person has murdered somebody. It's called homicide. When you say the word decide, it means something is dead in order for something to happen. Are you with me? So when you decide to get married to that man, to that woman, it means every other relationship must be dead to you. Very important you understand this. When you decide you want to become a footballer, it means everything else that is going to stop you in that season to become a footballer. I'm using a season because you can't be a footballer for the rest of your life. That is what I say. You are not trading is not all of you. It's part of you in a season. That is so when you become a footballer, we call something retired age. It means at some point we are expecting you to be done with that season playing football. Same thing with trading. So if you decide in 6 years, 10 years, 15 years of my life, trading is going to be a dimension that I pay attention to. It's not all of you, but it is the thing that you are saying you are focusing on. Therefore, you have decided, and everything else that is going to stop you from becoming a trader must die. So, Cliff, how do I become a trader? You need to decide. So a lot of people listening to me right now, you don't want to be a trader. You just want the money trading can give. You don't want to be a trader. You just want the money trading can give. You are not really trying to be able to transform your mind so that your life can become better. You want the life, all right, that a better transformed mind can give. You have not made a decision. Remember when we were studying strongholds, we said one of the ways to become the better version of yourself is being intentional about becoming. If you don't become intentional becoming, you can never become the person you want to be. Are you with me? And so it is very important that you understand that the first thing you need to do in order for you to even see the results you are desiring in trading is to decide to be a trader in the first place. You cannot just smuggle yourself into the industry and get money and run away. It's an industry. You cannot smuggle yourself to become a doctor. You need to decide to become a doctor. When you decide to become a doctor, you don't care even if it takes you 5-6 years. Some people go to school and do masters because they have decided to become a doctor. But you have to decide to become a trader. Every single distraction must die. And so when you come on this call or this live stream, you are not here because, you just want to see if this guy is going to say nonsense. You are not here if you want to see if this guy really knows what he's saying. Don't waste your time like that. If this masterclass is not doing anything for you, you shouldn't waste a dime of a second staying here. But if it's doing something for you, you pay attention and you say, man, as I am here, I am becoming. We are about to start a series, a very important series today. That means it's going to take us 2, 3, 4 master classes for me to complete this series. But you guys are going to love this series a lot. I love this series. In fact, thinking about teaching this series makes me know that traders are going to find light. They are going to find light. I call this series The Psychology Behind Every Strategy. The Psychology Behind Every Strategy. The Psychology Behind Every Strategy. It is a series I'm about to start. So we are going to have this first one. This first one is the foundational knowledge I have to give you for you to understand what I mean by the psychology behind every strategy. You see, a lot of people sometimes ask me, Cliff, what type of strategy is the best? Cliff, what type of trader do I have to become? Cliff, and I said, these questions, it's not about what you like. It's not about what you heard. It's about who you are that can fit that personality of that strategy. And so we're about to look at the psychological aspects. And now I am sure being on these live streams and watching a couple of videos on the masterclasses and stuff like that has made you understand. Anytime now we say the psychology of something, it means we are about to study something within that area that makes the mindset behind whatever we are talking about to make sense. Remember our teaching? Logi means the study of. So psychology is the study of mindset and behavior. So trading psychology is the study of the trader's mindset and his behavior. Are you with me? So when we say the psychology of or the psychology behind every strategy, it means that the mindsets, okay, behind every strategy, the behavior behind every strategy is what you're about to learn. Today, and moving on to the next sequence episodes of the masterclass, you are going to understand that many of you shouldn't be scalpers. You desire scalping, but you shouldn't be your scalper. Many of you may desire holding trades, but it doesn't mean just because your time is not favorable to you means you need to be a position trader or a swing trader. No, because you may try to scalp with a mindset of a swing trader. But how do you know all of this? That is the purpose of this series. That at the end of this series, you will sit down and understand, wow, so all this while I was craving a specific type of strategy that my behavior, my personality didn't match it. And so if you are excited for this series, it's going to take us like 4 episodes. So today is the foundational knowledge, whereby we're going to break down different couple of few things. And then episode 2, or in other words, part 2, I'm going to break it into parts. So it's going to be part 1, part 2, part 3, and then part 4. So 4-part series of this topic, psychology behind every strategy. If you guys are ready to pay attention, and if you have your book and you have your pen, please drop number ones in the comments. Let's roll. If you are ready and you have your book and your pen and you have already declared and say you are becoming, I am becoming, you are becoming, I want you to basically cast out every distraction. I know if some people, if this is their first time, they'll be like, why is this place so uptight? Because guys, we are talking about serious information, and so it has to be uptight. Cast out every distractions. Everybody who is a naysayer around you right now, you don't need to stay in the environment. Pick up your AirPods, pick up your headphones, sit somewhere that you can pay attention. Because when you don't get this information, you are in trouble. Listen to me carefully now. People sometimes ask me, Cliff, why do you teach the way you teach like this? And you sometimes things that are even easy or simple, you try to explain. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully now. There is a difference between knowledge and understanding. Knowledge is what you hear. Is the things you are taught in class, okay? Is the YouTube video you came across. Is the quote you screenshotted because you saw it and it captured your senses consciously. So that is knowledge. Understanding is when the knowledge becomes real to you. That means now you can use that knowledge and relate to it and say, oh, now I get it. That is understanding. So I take my time this way because I want you to get beyond knowledge. Okay, the first thing that you need to understand before we go on to today's masterclass is I want to start by defining what is strategy. Because we are talking about the psychology behind every strategy. Okay, and I want to define strategy first so that we'll be on the same page. Then we now go and study the mind and the behavior behind that. Okay, so I'm going to introduce the part 1 topic. I will give it to you. The main series is called, please write it down. The series is called The Psychology Behind Every Strategy. That is a series. You can make it maybe TPBES. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything. Just whatever you want to call it. So the psychology, or remove the "the" and say psychology behind every strategy. So that can be PBES. Okay? PBES series. Okay? Psychology behind every strategy. Part 1. The part 1 is called the you behind the strategy. Please make sure you arrange your notes well. So listen to me carefully now. The series we are about to start is a 4-part series. The main body of the series is titled Psychology Behind Every Strategy. Okay, that is the name of the series, or the name of the series. Psychology Behind Every Strategy. Part 1 of the series is titled The You Behind the Strategy. The you behind the strategy. Or in other words, you plus the strategy. Are you with me? The you behind the strategy is the part one. Okay. Now, before we talk about the you, I want to talk about the strategy, the word strategy. You see, when I was just preparing for this masterclass, I sat down and I'm like, strategy is a very, very interesting word. When we say strategy, I defined it here and I said, strategy is a structured, please write it down. Strategy is a structured plan for every. Okay. Strategy is a structured plan for victory. Please write it down. Strategy is a structured plan for victory. So, moving or movement is not equal to strategy. A strategy must be a structured plan. The purpose of that plan is to lead the individual, the entity, the institution into victory. Are you with me? I found out that the space that the word strategy was used was in the war space, war, like World War I, World War II. Strategy during the war times, it is something that the captain of the army will plan to win the battle before the battle. So that simply means that a strategy is meant to give you a winning attitude before you step into the battlefield. Are you with me? So if you say you have a strategy and you lack confidence, you are lying. It doesn't mean you will win the war, because remember, every single army fighting together, both of them wants to win. The problem is not whether you won or you lost. Is that you have a strategy. That strategy is what makes you go to the battlefield ready to die. Okay? Because remember, that soldier who used to once be a civilian made a decision, decided, and everything else died. The minute the soldier decided, or the civilian decided to become a soldier, that person didn't remain a civilian anymore. That day, he died. So you can't kill somebody who is already dead. Are you with me? So the general army, the commander-in-chief, when he structures a plan, he structures it to win the battle before the battle. So that is where the word strategy is. So in life, strategy is how you move from intention to transformation. So when you have an intention to do something and that intention becomes a transformation structure, it means you have put a strategy in place. Like what? Let's say, for example, your Mondays, you have dedicated it to reading or learning. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, you have dedicated it to, let's say, being very active by doing certain things regarding your productivity. Fridays, you call it the zooming out, meaning that you want to be able to reflect on what you did in the week. You see, it's a strategy. Then Saturday, you tell yourself you're going to rest, and then during 6 p.m. UK time, you will join TP Masterclass. That is a strategy, because you have created a structure around your life to give you a mindset, a superior belief mindset. So it's a strategy for you winning in life. It doesn't matter the same pattern. It can be something else. So if you want to become a footballer, to become victorious, you need to create a strategy around your life to become victorious as a footballer. So that is a strategy. So in life, strategy is how you move from intention to transformation. Then in trading, strategy isn't your setup. Strategy is your system. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. So when you ask the average retail trader, do you have a strategy? They said yes. And you look at their life and then there is no strategy. But then they get confused. They're like, but I have a strategy. I have learned this. I have learned that. The answer is no. A strategy is a system. The purpose of that system is to tame you. Is to tame you to the point that you become victorious. Why is your system meant to tame you? Are you an animal? No, but you can't be trusted. You can't be trusted. If you trust yourself, you are in trouble. You need to trust your system more than yourself, because the you that you are behind the chat is the problem. So, ladies and gentlemen, the you behind the strategy. If you are excited for today's masterclass, drop some number ones in the chat. The you behind the strategy. You can't trust yourself. You shouldn't trust yourself. It was one of my good friends, Malimo. He said that you need to have a ritual, Cliff. You know, you can't trust yourself. I don't trust myself. We're having a conversation. And so you need to listen to me carefully now. You can't, listen, you can't trust yourself. I didn't say you can't believe in yourself. No, you can't trust yourself. You shouldn't trust yourself. You cannot drink an alcohol, get drunk, sit behind the steering wheel and say, I will get home. You are joking. You are joking. You can't trust yourself. You are not that free from the manipulation of alcohol in your system behind the wheel. So sometimes human beings, we think that we are fine until the situation arises. You're going to learn a lot today. Today you're going to learn a lot. So the you behind the strategy is what we're about to talk about today. So now that you understand a strategy from that perspective, that a strategy is a system, the purpose of that system is to tame you, the you behind a strategy. Now, in order for you to understand this topic I'm about to break down today by the grace of God, listen to me carefully now. The first thing we need to understand is your personality. Your personality. Your personality. Now, before you are able to understand personality, when I was preparing, I was thinking about a couple of few things, and I said, I need to explain this very well. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, please. You see, one of the things that people don't understand is this, is that there are difference between, I wrote something down here. It's very, very important to me that I read this. Okay? I wrote down something here. Please write this down. Something very important I want you to write. I wrote something here. I said, the strategy, please write this down. The strategy you publicly admire, the strategy you publicly admire, the strategy you publicly admire may not match the personality you privately carry. I'm going to take it again. The strategy you publicly admire may not match the personality you privately carry. And the version of you in secret will always win. I'm going to repeat it again. This is a very powerful statement. Please make sure you're writing it down, whether on your phone, on your tablet, or in your book. I'm going to repeat it again. The strategy you publicly admire may not match the personality you privately carry. And the version of you in secret place or in your secret will always win. The first question I want to ask you right now is this. The way people perceive you, if they put camera on you for 24 hours, would they find the same you made them believe is you? I'm going to ask the question again. You don't have to answer me. It's something I want to provoke you and I want you to think about it. If right now, whether your friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whoever that it is that, you know, your whoever it is, if they put a camera on you for 24 hours and they say, be yourself, the person they perceive you to be, will they find the same person behind that camera? This was one of the most powerful revelation I got 7 years ago. And I told myself, if people put camera on me, I want them to see the same person that I declare that I am. Now, as a human being, you may not be perfect, but striving for mastery is the first key to becoming victorious in your life. Honesty, not honesty to people. Listen, it is easy for you to try to be honest to people, but what about you? How honest, on the scale of 1 to 10, how honest are you with yourself? Listen, personality is the consistent pattern of thought. I want you now. Let's define personality. What is personality? Personality, I wrote down here, is the consistent pattern. Okay. Personality is the consistent pattern of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Personality is the consistent pattern of thought. Oh my God, my God, my God. I just realized the kind of light bulb moment that is about to hit somebody right now. Listen, every time when I say you will never leave a masterclass the same way again, people sometimes think maybe I'm just joking. You will never leave this masterclass the same way again, because there was a revelation that I'm about to share. Yeah? Wait for it. Personality is the consistent pattern of thoughts. Let's finish defining personality. Personality is the consistent pattern of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that define how a person responds to life, makes decisions, and interacts with the world. Some of you guys will be asking, Cliff, why the big smile on your face? Somebody's life is about to change by this revelation. Personality is the consistent pattern of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, and define how a person responds to life, makes decisions, and interact with the world. I'm going to take the definition one more time again. Ladies and gentlemen, I know some people takes time to get it, so let me repeat it again, okay? If you have already gotten it, don't worry. I'm not delaying you at all. Let somebody else get it. Personality is the consistent pattern of thought. Consistent pattern of thought. I want you to underline the word consistent. Personality is the consistent pattern of thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that define how a person responds to life, makes decisions, and interacts with the world. And I wrote something down here. I said, your personality is not who you say you are. Please write this down. Your personality is not who you say you are. It's who you become under pressure, in silence, and when no one is watching. Oh my God. I want you to declare to yourself and say, my life is about to change. My life is about to change. Declare right now to yourself, my life is about to change. When I say, how does your life change? Listen to me carefully now. Now, listen. We call something the speed of light. Okay? We call something the speed of light. So the speed of light simply means that when you light up a torch, when you are traveling with a car, it doesn't matter whatever it is, as long as it has light, it travels with a certain kind of speed that if you light up your light right now, it needs to show in a certain dimension with a single span of a speed limit, like in millisecond. It's called the speed of light. So when we say this car or this train, which is impossible, but when we say something travels at the speed of light, it means it's very fast. It means you can switch on a torchlight and a place where was dark few seconds ago becomes lighted up instantly. It's called the speed of light. Now, I want to borrow the word light and bring it into the space of knowledge. Knowledge is classified as light. Listen. This is not part of the teaching, but I want you guys to understand something. Knowledge is referenced like light. So let's say you came onto this masterclass. Right now it's 9 p.m. in Dubai time. That means it's almost 11:10 p.m. If I say something right now, and the thing I say becomes a revelation to you. Let's say, for example, you didn't know laws and principles are important. Let's say you didn't know that your financial thermostat matches your ability to earn, and you never heard about this information before. So now it's 11:09, 30 seconds to go. Okay, for 11:10. Maybe let's say 15 seconds to go. Maybe let's say 10 seconds to go. That 10 seconds, if you hear something and that thing becomes your aha moment, the same way the light, the speed of light, can travel in a split of seconds to a dimension, to a different destination, is the same way your life can change that moment. You may not see it. You may not see that your life has changed, but we know that laws and principles, that the things we see is one thing, and the things you don't see does not mean there are not things there. For example, right now, I'm talking to you guys. I'm not where you are, but Wi-Fi is connecting me to you. You don't see the Wi-Fi, okay? You don't see me breathing, but I have oxygen. There are things we don't see, but they exist. Same thing with knowledge. That few seconds to go, somebody is about to hear something that their life will never remain again. I call that the speed of knowledge. When you hear a certain information, it changes your life overnight. It makes you never go back the same way again. Listen, I made an analogy and I want you guys to pay attention and listen to this very well. I said something very important. I said, imagine, let's say me and you, we are in the same room with another friend. And you and I, let me just use you. Let's say me and the other friend, we are talking about you, but you didn't know. When you came into the room, we are smiling with you and every single thing. We're like, oh man, we appreciate you, we honor you, we love you. Those are the things you heard when you were standing near us. And you told us, I am going home. Somebody needs to get this analogy. It will change your life. Listen to this carefully now. Let's say myself and another gentleman, his name is John. And you came into the room with me and John. And then we were talking, we were gisting, we were just having fun, conversing. And then you left. But before you left, we were telling you beautiful things. We appreciate you, we love you, we like you so much. Those were the things you heard when we were talking before you. But then you left your phone in the room. And then you went out. And we didn't know that you left your phone. We thought you were gone. But then you were coming back and you heard either myself or my friend talking bad things about you. Okay? Now, no matter how much you used to like me, no matter how much you used to love me, no matter how much you used to honor me, because you heard the things that you didn't know or I didn't know that you were coming, and those were the things we were saying about you, something will immediately change in your mind. No matter the love you had for me, it will die instantly. That is the same thing that happens when truth enters your mind. If truth enters your mind and it brings you that liberty, nothing can change your mind about that knowledge. That is what I want you guys to keep it in mind as a foundation when we are talking about this information today with me. That we started by saying that what is personality? Before we even talk about personality, we said about a strategy. We said a strategy is a structured plan, and the purpose of that plan is to give you victory. So before a strategy is deployed, in the mind of that strategy is only victory is going to get, nothing else. So when you deploy strategy, strategy is looking for one thing and one thing only, victory. But the only issue is there is something else behind the strategy, the you behind the strategy that makes the strategy somehow not 100% to give victory. So we said because of that, we are about to talk about the you behind the strategy. So we started talking about personality. And what did we say? We said personality is the consistent pattern of thought, emotions, and behaviors that define how a person responds to life and how the person makes decisions and how the person interacts with the world. When you say interact with the world, what do we mean? Because you don't see the world for the way it is. You see the world for the way you are. Listen to me carefully now. You don't see the world for the way it is. You see the world for the way you are. You don't see the world for the way it is. You see the world for the way you are. Very important to understand this. That means you see through your lenses. So that means you can come here right now and say, this guy is saying nonsense. It is your case. It is your lenses. It is your mindset, your perception. It doesn't make it correct. It's called cognitive biases. We've studied this on the masterclass. So you and I can come here right now and say, you don't like this person. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That person will still thrive, will still become successful regardless of your definition of what you think about the person, because you see things the way you are. And that is why it's very important that the lens you look at things from must be filtered. It must be structured. It must be clean and transformed. Are you with me? Personality. Personality is not who you say you are, it's who you become. Under pressure, in silence, and when no one is watching. Now listen to me carefully now. When I was learning, a revelation dropped on me. Do you know what I realized? It means personality does not live in the present. This is going to be a little bit difficult for people to understand, but listen to me carefully now. That means your personality does not live in the present. That means if you tell me, Cliff, I am XYZ, or let's say, Cliff, my personality is a person who is disciplined. That is who you are telling me you are, but that is not how you vert personality. It's not true. It's not true. That is not how you identify personality. In science, we call something litmus test. It's when you use another chemical to vet the legit structure of another chemical. So if you want to know if this is sodium and if you want to know this is chlorine, there is a way that you can test it, right? So remember, sodium and chlorine individually, they are poisonous. They are not good for the human. But when they come together, it becomes salt. Isn't that interesting? So two things right now that you are looking at. You are telling me I am disciplined, but it's not true. That is not your personality. That means personality does not live in the now. Personality lives in the future, because the real you that you are, that you don't even know, is when life tests you. You take 2 traits in a row, and then instead of you staying away and following your strategy, you break your rules. So you telling me that you are disciplined is not true. And that is why it takes a long time for people to be transformed, because they lie to themselves, not because they are bad, because the Bible even says something powerful. It says the heart of a man is desperately wicked and deceitful. Who can know it? That means even you don't know yourself. Do you know what that means? This is what it means. It means that the personality you think you are now is not true. We can only tell and vet it and say it is true based on the future incident you came across. So that means, Cliff, how do I know who I am? You will need to look at your behavior of the way you react in the future. So, Cliff, I am emotional. I am not emotional. We don't know that yet. Let's see how you react in the future. So, personality is being revealed in the future, backed up by the past. Are you with me? So that means the now doesn't tell your personality. And that is what brings my next part of this topic. We are about to look at the 3 selves in behavioral psychology. 3 selves. We have 3 selves. 3 selves. 3 selves. Number 1 is the public self. It is who you show to others. It is your public self. Please write this down. We have 3 selves. Okay? 3 selves. You have the number 1, which is the public self, the version of you that you show to others. I'm confident. Okay, I'm composed. I am filtered. The way, maybe probably the way you would dress and go to an event beautifully. You know, you are well structured and every single thing incredible. That is your presenting self. It is the public self of you. That is not who you are. So it is a you that is confidence, composed, filtered. Let's say, for example, right now, you know, I come on a call with you and I'm trading with you, or I just bumped into your trading room. Okay, you are going to compose yourself depending on the relationship we have. So you are going to basically just say, hey, you know what? Hi, Cliff. All of them. We're going to talk, but that is not the you. That is a composed version of you. After 2, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I will start to notice another dimension of you that I didn't see in the beginning. So the number 1 is called the public self, is the version of you you show others. Okay, for example, you know, social media highlights, those things. That is why they keep on saying social media is not real. Not because people are trying to be bad, but nobody wants to show the version of themselves that people will judge them, right? And there are a few people also who try to be themselves in the way that they should. So it's called the public self. Okay, it is a part of you that talks about discipline and things and so on and so forth. It is rare, but at the end of this masterclass, I want you to know that you don't need to fake it to be. Okay. That is not how it works. So the public self. Then number 2, we have what we call the private self. It is a version of you that you talk to in your mind. Okay, you promise yourself, man, why did I even take this trade? I will not do this again. Oh man, I don't even know why I even said I'm not gonna watch porn again. And why am I watching porn again? Why did I masturbate again? The private self. Nobody knows this. Even you don't even know that version of you. It's just that you talk about that version in your head. You sometimes, if you're not careful, you will believe that is how you are, but it's just a talking self of yourself in your head. It's called the private self, the version of you that you talk in your mind. You promise yourself, I will do this, I will read that book, I will do this, I'll be consistent. It is a private self of you. That is not who you are. Okay, so it is a part of you that self-make plans but doesn't execute it. It is a private self of you. Then we have the number 3. It is called the actual self. It is the one that the market really meets. It is the one that people who you are very close to, they know that version of you. So you will see sometimes people will be like, hey, I didn't know you can talk. They didn't know you can talk because you have presented yourself to be composed and very quiet and very rigid until the day you start cracking jokes. And that is why it happens when somebody takes an alcohol. And alcohol makes you forget about your consciousness and it goes into your subconscious and then bring out a behavior people didn't know it existed. So people sometimes say when somebody is angry, the things they say, pay attention. That is them. It is very important you understand this. So the actual self of you is the one that the market really meets. And this is the problem. This is the big problem because the market is going to meet the public self and he will go like, give me away. I'm not looking for you. And the market will meet your private self, the one that you talk in your head. You know what? I'm going to be a disciplined trader. After TP Masterclass, I am becoming. And the market is like, go away. I'm not looking for you. Then now it meets the actual self. It's like, there you are. I say, shake me. You are the one I want to trade with. How are you doing? Are you with me? So the actual self, what is the actual self? The one built through repetition, the one that is coming from trauma, the one that every single person in your household have told you you're not going to mount up to anything. That self. The one that you believe that the world owes you, the one that you think that somehow the politicians and the government is meant to do something so that your life will change. That you. The you that you believe, if something doesn't go well for you, it is either manipulation or somebody wanted to hurt you. That you is the one the market is looking for. It's not looking for the private you. It's not looking for the public you. It's looking for the actual you, that you behind the market. That you. So it is the part of you that reveal itself under pressure. So this is how it works. Remember I told you this, that personality, the self of you, it exists in the future. So we wouldn't know how you are going to behave when you are having 3 losses in a row, unless the 3 losses happens. That is the reason why a lot of people don't make it in trading. Because when they lose 3 losses in a row, they are now basically going to say that, man, I will never do this thing again. Your private self, you are lying. It's not you. Then you will now, somebody will ask you, how is your trading going? Man, it's all good. We are trying, in trading, you win some, you lose some, but we are getting there. The public self, composed. Then your actual self will now go and sit down and say, man, this guy that I borrowed the money from, I think he really wants to take his money. Maybe I should just over leverage again so that I can make this money. Man, the landlord is coming. I really need to make sure I make money from this thing, because the actual self has issues of life. You have troubles. You are in trouble. So that is the you that the market is going to face. And that you, so someday you can compose yourself and make money back to back, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, even 6 months. And you are compounding, and you are happy that the resource is coming. And one day, just one day, the actual you that the landlord is giving pressure to, that you don't know what to do. So you looked at your account and say, you know what? This trade is good. In fact, this strategy that I saw on internet, everybody is saying if you wait for the right liquidity sweep and you enter with the right loss size with tight stop loss, you will make it. Good. So now you enter with a tight stop loss, okay, and with a good loss size, and then it kicked you out. And that pain is the kind of pain that, you know the kind of injury. Maybe back in the days, if you are playing football or you are playing any games, let's say your actual knee will hit on the ground. And when it hit on the ground, there is a cut. So the flesh will leave the skin, but you won't see blood for the first 3, 4, 5 seconds to 10 seconds. There will be no blood. It's white. Okay, white. And then after 15 seconds, you will now start seeing the blood coming like virus. That kind of pain, only God can deliver you. Right? So that is the kind of pain when you hit a certain stop loss that you know the market is supposed to go to that direction. So check this out. You enter the trade because your landlord is disturbing you. Right? And then when you enter the trade, you should have been patient, but you are afraid of missing out because you need to make the money and pay your landlord. And so here comes the trick. First loss, bam. And you know, you told yourself, now you say you are disciplined, but we don't believe you yet. Only future can tell. So you enter the trade, you took your SL, and instead of you saying no to the next trade because you said that you would take 1 trade per day or 2 trades, whatever. So the first trade, bam, SL. And instead of you staying away, you said, you know what, but this trade will go there though. And you entered again another SL. And then now it looks like the volatility, or in terms of the momentum, is changing in direction. So back then, maybe you thought it has changed a character and a break of structure has happened in your smaller time frame. So you are now about to go for the home run. Kicked you out 1, kicked you out 2, and now your brain is distorted. Remember, it's called anchoring bias from cognitive bias. Now you're going to switch from you being a strategic discipline individual to revenge trading. That you that cannot let things go. That you that when somebody step on your feet, you must step on their feet too. That you that nobody knows. The one that you tell people, you don't know me, I'm a very angry person, but I can control myself. That you. So now you're going to go into a sell, even though your bias was a buy, but you want to go in for a sell because you want to get your money back. And the moment you entered a sell, a pullback happens, and then you close it because you are afraid you are losing your capital. And then what happens? Now the trade goes back to the overall move you wanted. But remember, if you are really the trader you said you are, you knew it was going to do that. But fear of missing out, issues of life, and the actual self couldn't play that part well. This is the story behind every trader that is listening to me right now. So there is a public self, the you that you make everybody think you are. There is a private self, the one that you tell yourself in your mind. And there is an actual self, the one that the trader, the market wants to meet. Now that you have understood the 3 types of selves, we are now about to talk about personality types. Personality types. We have 4. I wrote down here the 4 types of personalities. Types. I wrote down here the function, the focus, and then in trading. So we have the first personality type. We call them the thinking. They think a lot. Those people, they focus on logic, analysis, and structure. A person like this, don't share your business idea with them. You are in trouble. They will think some thinking that will let you think about the thinking for you to start thinking why you even came to them in the first place. Because now you are wondering if what they are saying is true or what should you do. So they are called the thinkers. They are good. It doesn't, listen, these personalities, there isn't negative or positive. It's just personality. Are you with me? So we have talked about the 3 selves. The 3 selves is not a personality. Let me explain something else so you understand. There is a difference between personality and then identity. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. There is a difference between identity and personality. Personality is your pattern, okay? The way you behave, the way you see the world, and so on and so forth. The way that your pattern is shaped. Identity is your perception. Okay? Identity is your perception. So you can say, I am a lion. Let's say you went on YouTube and you saw a video about Kobe Bryant, and may his soul rest in peace. And he said, I am the black mamba, the mamba mentality. Yes, you can call yourself the mamba mentality. That is you trying to create an identity, which is a good thing. There is nothing wrong with that. But if you run from pressure, you are not a lion. That is a chicken move. Are you with me? So, but nobody will call themselves, I am a chicken, because you know chicken is being eaten for Christmas, right? So you will not say I'm a chicken, because chicken is not a good association with identity. So everybody says, I am a lion. No, chief, wait, before you claim lions or a lion. But however, it is very important that you understand that every identity you want to fall into, you are ready to walk into it. That is why when you read the declarations, when you say I am, I'm trying to let you understand, change your perception, but also be ready to walk into that personality that gives that identity solidification. Are you with me? Good. So now there is a difference between identity and personality. So identity is your perception. Okay, the things that shapes your belief system. Personality is the way you behave, you react, and so on and so forth. So thinking is the first personality type, the thinkers. They are the ones, they focus on logic, analysis, and structure. Those people, they are rule-based systems, risk plans, and data. They are the thinkers. Now, the second one is the feeling. They behave on feelings. Their emotions, I don't feel like. So if somebody is watching me and he's a feeling type, I don't feel like this guy is teaching. I don't feel like he's teaching psychology. I don't feel like, you are always feeling. So for them, they always feel. They feel everything. So the feeling, again, remember, it's not negative or positive. That is a personality type. So feeling, emotions, values, meaning. That is them. They trade based on peace, pressure, or guilt. So someday they can say things like, I feel like today God will go up. I can feel the peace in my heart. Even the Bible says that, when you pray and you feel the peace, it means it is true. Chief, you'll be surprised. So they are the ones that will lay down on your hands. You remember my story, lay down my hands on the gold trade and say, God of Abraham, you are trading by feelings. No, God does not move like that. So the feeling people, emotions, values, meaning, that is them. They trade based on peace, pressure, or guilt. Then the third individuals, the third personality is called sensation. Very sensational. All right. For them, it's concrete reality. Present moment. All right. They react based to the market feeling and the price action. For them, it is now. What is happening right now? They don't care about yesterday. They don't care about the news they don't care about Trump tariff. None of that. They are looking at price action. Then we have the last one, is called the intuition. Those ones, they focus on the possibility, they focus on patterns, and they focus on vision. So they look for what could happen next. Those individuals, if they are not careful, they will predict the move before the move even happens. Not because of patterns, but because of intuition. So if you are here and you are watching me, and then if you are watching a movie, you sometimes predict the movie scene before the movie scene happens. That is the personality type I'm talking about. They do like that. They can sometimes say, I think this guy is going to do this. Sometimes they can even casually say, I think I know the cloth Cliff is going to wear today. Intuition. So 4 types of personalities: thinking, feeling, sensation, intuition. Are you with me? Now, each of these has an extroverted or introverted version of it. So you are strongest in one, but weakest in one too. So you are either dominant in one in terms of this function, all right, and then you trust one or you don't. And then also you suppress one function, and then you also don't suppress the other one. So you need to be able to understand that the people that like thinking, they don't want to deal with feelings. And the people that deal with feelings, they are like, man, you are thinking too much. All right. So it's like that, but they are all personalities. Are you with me? So now we need to understand what is controlling you or what you are suppressing here. Are you with me? So I wrote down couple of few things here before we go to the next level here. So if you're asking me, Cliff, how do I know? How do I know that I am this personality or that? So I wrote down here, if you, so as you are listening to me, listen to me carefully now. So write it down. If you, I will add the sentences, and then I will add, then you are likely a. If you, then you are likely a. Are you with me? So if you always need rules and structure before acting, if you get frustrated by vague strategies or abstract ideas, if you love systems, checklists, and clear logic, if you hate emotional distractions, then you are likely a thinker. Dominant thinking function. Okay, I'm going to repeat it again. If you always need rules and structure before acting, if you get frustrated by vague strategies or abstract ideas, if you love systems, checklists, and clear logic, if you hate emotional distractions, then you are likely a thinker. Basically, dominant thinking function. That means you process the world through logic and structure. You need trading strategies that are data-driven, rule-based, and back-tested. That is you. You are a thinker. Congratulations. Even though every single personality here has its own negative side effects and positive, that is who you might likely be. So while you are listening to me, be like, okay, I think this is who I am. I like this. I like that. The second category, if you make decisions based on how you feel, and if you make decisions not just what is logical, but often, oh man, I feel guilty. For example, when I was doing the personality test, I realized some people were saying that if they experience losses in a row or they break their rules, they feel embarrassed. Why are you embarrassed? But that is how they feel. There is nothing, there is everything wrong with that, but that is their personality. The more they understand it, the more they become the better version of themselves. So if you make decisions based on how you feel, not just what is logical, or you often feel guilty, pressured when trades go wrong, or you are easily affected by the emotional tone of the market or the community, or let's say somebody says something right now and you get emotional, then you are likely a feeler. Okay, your dominant feeling is function. So remember, we have a dominant function. Okay, so your dominant function, meaning the one at the top. So if the first one, you are likely a thinker, your dominant function is thinking, or your dominant function is a feeler. If you are somebody that you focus on the feelings and I feel like that, that is your dominant function. The third one is if you prefer clean charts and what makes you see right now. So you will go on the chart and you will see somebody, their chart is clean, very clean. That person is likely a sensor. Okay, so they are good with fast reaction, but they struggle with forecasting. They don't care about theories, they want results. Okay, so that is their dominant function. Okay, they process the world through real-time and concrete experience. So they thrive in price action, they thrive in scalping, and they thrive in short-term patterns. I will come there, don't worry about it. Now, if you constantly, the last one here is that if you constantly imagine what could happen next. So always you are trying to predict, sometimes even when you are going around, you are predicting, I will see this, I will see that. In general lifestyle, not just in trading, but you are naturally somebody who likes to predict or imagine things happen before they happen, or you love finding patterns, stories, market logic no one else sees. Okay, then you are basically intuitive. That is your dominant function. You process the world through vision, insight, and possibility. So you are drawn, people like this. Okay, I'm going to tell you now. So these are the couple of ways you can know who you are. Now let's go to the personality and the strategy. Now we are getting close to the why we are studying this. Cliff, why are we studying personalities? So that you will understand. If you are here and you require patience, detachment, high-level pattern recognition, that means you are intuitives and thinkers. One being your dominant function, you are most likely going to go for either smart money concepts or ICT kind of strategy. So there are people that they love smart money concept strategy. It makes them feel smart. They makes them feel like, when you ask them the way they speak, and this is not to throw any jabs, because every single strategy has its own way of things is connected. So I'm not saying anything, but those individuals, they like to sound smart. There is nothing wrong with that, but that is their personality. They want to say things like, I'm looking for the way the other block, even though they can explain it easily. No, other block, they will say this. It's not because they really care about other block. They just need to say it to feel smart. Fair value gaps, liquidity sweep. They will, when you see a typical person who just started learning smart money concept or ICT, you run away. The English is the English. Chief is the English. Don't worry, it's the English. The same thing they are saying, you can say it in another way and it will mean the same thing, but it's the English. But for them, it's their personality. They need to feel smart. There is nothing wrong with that. Listen, the purpose of this masterclass is not to say this is wrong or this is right. It's to point you to your personality, to know the things you need to be following. Are you with me? So if you are somebody that is, if that is how you are going to basically follow this strategy. So intuitive and thinkers, they normally go for smart money concept and ICT structures. Then we have pure price action. They are the people, they are grounded, okay? They are present moment minds, they are sensors. For them, they like pure price action. They are just looking at what is happening now in the market. Now, people can add pure price action and other couple of few concepts from either ICT or smart money concept or SMC, whatever you want to call it. But then that is not the point. The point is, I'm trying to let you understand next time when you want to ask somebody, what strategy should I learn? This series is going to solve all the answers for you. So in the next sequence master classes, we are going to be a little bit technical. I will show you the kind of structures that will come against the person and so on and so forth, and the kind of psychological barriers you will face if you're not careful with a specific strategy. So now, whether smart money concept, pure price action, you have seen what I'm trying to say now. Then we have indicator-based system. Those ones, they appeal to those needing external confirmations. They are the feelers. All right, they are feelers. The indicators make them feel. You know, when the way the indicators print on the chart, it brings emotions out of the person. It makes them feel that this will go up. It makes them see, man, this whole EMA cross or the MA cross or the alligator strategy or the Ishimoku cloud, it's making me feel that the price is about to drop. So they are feelings. Those people, they are feeling dependent. That is where they gravitate towards to. And then we have this. Now let's come to the different type of traders as well. Scalping and so on and so forth. Scalping people are high pressure, low patient, fast execution people. They are mostly extroverted sensors and thinkers. So they are extroverts. They love to scalp. They love scalping. If you put them in a swing trade, you have caused trouble. They need to scalp. So if you're asking me, Cliff, what type of trading strategy is good, or type of trader should I be? Is it scalping or swing trade? That's not the point. Who are you? Do you know who you are? That is the purpose of this series. Okay, so swing trading, structured, detached, long range thinking. Those people, they have long-term goal structures. They go to swing trading. So Cliff, how do I know I should be a swing trader? You need to be able to understand then. When we are talking about swing trading in the part 3, I think that's going to be part 2. No, part 3. Part 1 is now the foundation. Part 2 is going to be the scalper's mind. Part 3 is going to be the intraday's mind. And part 4, so part 4, the swing trader's mind. So this one, what am I doing right now? I'm trying to build the foundation for you to understand that there are personalities attached to all these traits. By the end of this series, nobody should ask me, Cliff, what type of trader do you think I should become? You will know it by knowledge. Even not just for yourself. When somebody asks you scalping and swing trading, which one of them is good? None, neither, nada. It's just a personality trait. Which one of them can your personality handle? That is the point. Are you with me? So whether you like this strategy, people are asking me, Cliff, I want to learn ICT. That is not the point. Because remember, every one of these strategies, they are concepts in attempt to capture a perception. So the person that started teaching it is using their personality, their English to make you understand. So one time I was teaching a group of people and I said, even if right now in this industry, let's say you call your strategy bread and beans. So you call the bread the flat layer. So maybe it is your support or whatever you want to call it. And then you call the top one beans, whatever. And you say, hey guys, I'm about to teach a new strategy. It's called bread and beans. And you start to show the results that the bread and beans is giving you. You will get people to follow you and call that bread and beans strategy. So it is all about perception. It's all about a concept. As long as that concept makes sense to you, connect to your personality, you are almost good to go and almost getting there to build a system to manage you behind that strategy. So that is why you cannot borrow another trader's strategy, because that strategy is the person's personality. So when you are looking for a strategy, you need to be able to make sure what is the personality of the individual. I cannot hang out with scalpers. No, I can't. I don't scalp, even though that the knowledge I have can be able to give me an edge to be able to scalp within trades. But if I make that become my main personality strategy, I am in trouble because I am naturally the individual who takes their time to do something. If you see me eating, I can take my time to eat. So sometimes I don't like eating with a group of people on the table because they will eat fast and it's just me remaining. And everybody's like, oh man, you eat slow. Yeah, I know, because I want to take my time on the food. So you need to understand your personality. If you are somebody who takes your time on something, don't enter into a space. So now, don't say that I want to learn how to scalp because you are broke. That is not how you choose a strategy. Okay, that is not how you choose it. Don't say, how can I make money fast? And therefore, I'm looking for a strategy that can give me fast trade ideas. That is not how you choose a strategy. You choose a strategy based on personality. That is why in the traders of old, there is a book called the Market Wizards. You will get to understand that some of these traders, some of them were gamblers. They didn't change the gambling attitude. They didn't. They kept it, but they used it because it was their personality. Not that I'm promoting gambling. But I want you to understand that your personality, when you understand it, it gives you an edge. It gives you an edge. It gives you an edge. It makes you understand how to be able to fight on the battlefield. So, again, let me start bringing the foundation here together. So, we are about to start a series. And in order for this series to benefit every trader, whether you are a scalper, a swing trader, an intraday, whether you like ICT strategies, whether you like smart money concept, whether you like pure price action, whether you like any type of strategy, indicator strategy, whatever that you like, okay, whether you like patterns, whatever that you like, my job is to make sure I break down the possible scenarios of how these strategies affect different personalities. That makes other people break, because you will find somebody who is saying that he is going to trade SMC. And you know, with SMC, the truth of the matter is majority of the time, the stop losses are very tight. But here you are that you cannot handle. Yes, it is true that normally they will tell you, all right, you know, whatever that you are, they will tell you, I'm going for the highest risk to reward ratio. And sometimes when I meet traders like this, I laugh, and it's funny because sometimes when traders are trying to explain their strategy to you, they think you have no idea. So they will say things like, you know what, I'm trading, smart money concept. It is where I can go for the highest risk to reward ratio. Same individual is telling me that he's going to go for the highest risk to reward ratio. Okay, maybe 1:, some of them can even tell you 1:10. Now, Chief, listen to me carefully now. If you are going for a 1:10 risk to reward ratio, do you know what that means psychologically? What that simply means is that you are okay if you lose 3-4 times in a row. That is what you are saying. You are basically saying, when we say risk to reward, the meaning of that is how many times can I lose and still win to recover and be in profit? Risk to reward ratio. So what that is, the ratio is what solidifies that sentence. So what that simply means, that you don't choose risk to reward ratio because it sounds cool. So when I hear a lot of retail traders, with no offense, but you can hear the ignorance in their sentences based on the way they talk and the way they behave. So when you tell me your strategy, you remember what I told you about personality, that what you are telling me now is not who you are. It's what life tests you in the future. It's what shows who you are, backed back by the past. Are you with me? So if you tell me your risk to reward ratio is 1:10, and when you hit 2 stop losses in a row, you're already frowning. Chief, you are lying. Go and change your risk to reward ratio. Change it quickly, because now what you are telling me, your risk to reward ratio is 1:0. You're already angry. If we take you to the clouds, you can let it rain. You are so angry. Why? Because you had 2 losses in a row while your risk to reward ratio is 1:10. How? Psychologically, you don't understand what you're saying. So if you say my risk to reward ratio is 1:10, it means you are okay to lose 3 times in a row. Meaning that when you hit your next TP, Kai, you will swipe every loss you had and you are coming back into the blues. Confidence, strategy. Are you with me now? Remember, strategy is meant to give you confidence. It's meant to give you victory. So when you're going to the market now with this understanding, what would you tell yourself? My risk to reward ratio is 1:10. Therefore, I am okay if I lose 3 trades in a row. Even though it may not look pleasing, but I am okay with it because I trust my back-tested strategy and I know that I am going to be victorious at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year. Why? Because trading is a game of probabilities. Therefore, I don't know when I'm going to lose. I don't know when I am going to win, but I am going to follow my strategy, my plan, structured plan to give me a victory. So I will take 100 trades in a year. I will take 50 trades. At the end of the month, of the week, of the year, I know my back-tested strategy will give me a profitable season. Confidence. Now you are not sounding like an ignorant trader. Why? Because you have come to realize, number one, you selected your strategy not based on desires. You selected your strategy not based on feelings. You selected your strategy based on your personality. So when we are about to start this part series, number one, you will understand who is classified as a scalper. You will know who is defined as an intraday trader. You will know who is a swing trader. What strategy comes with what personality. I will give different examples of different things. And so you will know that, remember that we have a public self. So don't show the self of you that you are making it look like you are profitable to the people. I was telling something, and if you're a mentor here, please listen to me carefully now. You are not obligated to show people trading results. That behavior died a long time ago. Nobody cares. Whether you are making money or not, only you and your house knows. The four corners of your room, only you know. So if you post blues and on the screen and you are hungry, only you know. So if you're a mentor, don't let the pressure of the mentees or the pressure of people make you post your wins. How many of you guys posted your wins and the next day you lost it? See, this word here, when we say some things are spirits, we're not talking about demons. We are talking about things that you will attract based on your personality. How many of you have posted your wins, or the minute you showed somebody your blues, the next day you lost that blues? What happened? Something happened. So you need to be able to understand that in this world, we attract things. The way you are is what you attract. And remember that I told you that we don't see the world based on what it is. You see the world based on who you are. It is very important that you understand the series we are about to talk about. That at the end of the series, you can be able to be bold and say, yes, I am a scalper. And when they ask you, why are you scalping? You say, because number one, for me, patience is difficult. So I have created a structure around my life to tame me to be patient for a couple of while. And when I finish trading within that session, I go away because I know myself. I'm going to repeat this again for you to understand the concept of what we are learning. That makes sense. So the next time somebody asks you, are you a scalper? You say yes. Why? Because I am good. What is that? That is not how you answer. Are you a scalper? Yes. Why? Because I know myself. I know that I am not that's easily patient. So I am going to tame myself and put myself within sessions. I only look for 2-3 trades per session. If I find a trade, good. If I don't, I close my laptop and I walk away. But what if the trade triggers after the landing session? No problem. That is not me. I know myself. So for example, it's like whether you were a man or a woman and you know yourself. So let's say, for example, I was making an example one time, and I hope everybody's listening to me right now, you understand this concept. I want to just create something. Let's say you have been warned not to go to somebody's room and you're a woman. I always say this thing very well, that if you go to another person's room, a guy's room, and you are a woman, and you don't want to do anything with this man, it is not based on your feelings. It is not based on your intuition. It is based on the things that happen in the room. For example, there are places, if the gentleman touches, there is something called physiology. Something will happen to your body. Chemicals will start releasing. In that moment, you are no more thinking. Neither is the guy. Obviously, the guy wasn't thinking way before you even came anyways. Does that make sense? So you need to be able to understand that you don't do things based on what you want. You do things based on who you are and what has happened to you. So if you tell yourself, me, I am a disciplined woman, nothing will happen between me and this guy, you are lying. Future will tell. Are you with me? Same thing in trading. So when you go into the market, don't think you are disciplined. Don't let the market touch you. So create a system to tame you. Tame you. Why? Because you know who you are. You know you are impatient. It doesn't mean you are bad. It means there is a certain way you have grown up. We will get there later, and that is why we study the strongholds. But for now, the way the household you grow into, patience is difficult for you. So tame you now to survive while you are transforming your mind. Are you with me? So while you are understanding your strongholds, because some of you is going to take you like 6 years before you become transformed. So while you are transforming yourself, you are taming yourself with this knowledge that, okay, so my personality is X, my personality is Y, my personality is Z. And therefore, I'm going to have to tame myself, the me behind this strategy, the me behind scalping, the me behind swing trading, the me behind intraday. I need to tame that me. If not, I am in trouble. Are you with me? Okay, so this is the series we are about to start. In this series, I am so excited because I know that a lot of people are going to learn a lot. Today was a foundational knowledge. If I say I was teaching scalping and things like that, believe me, you guys were going to get confused. So today I wanted to do justice to the importance of understanding your personality. So I have something that I wrote down here. That this week I want you to observe 1, 2, 3, 4 things I wrote down here this week. I want you to observe how you react to waiting, because we are about to find out your personality at the end of this season, of this series. Number 1, you need to observe, not just learn, observe. What is observing? Observing means you are looking at something and you are paying attention intentionally. So you are observing. What are you observing? You are observing how you react to waiting. You observe how you react to waiting. Number 2, observe how you respond to a bad trade. What is a bad trade? A bad trade is not a trade that you lost or you made money. It's a trade that you didn't plan to trade. So how you respond to a bad trade. Number 3, what tempts you to break your rules? What tempts you? Is it ego? Because there are a few things that tempt people: fear, rage, jealousy, control, guilt, greed. You see, jealousy is a dangerous thing, and ego as well. There are people, when they see people making money in the industry, even though they know they are done for the day, because they saw the blues, they want to go and prove to themselves they are dope, and they'll go and blow their accounts. You need to stay away. There are some things, if there are some channels or there are some platforms that is tempting you, close it, mute it. It is your phone. You have the right to mute it. If you come across videos you think is provoking you and you don't like it, mute it. You can say not recommended. It is for you to do that for yourself because you know your personality. Are you with me? So it is very important that you understand that there are things that are like shadows that hides behind you. One of them is fear. One of them is rage. Rage. Some people are angry for no reason. Somebody can be angry because they saw somebody else winning. Okay, that one is a spirit. We'll talk about that later on. But then at the end of the day, you need to understand that jealousy can also contribute to your life. And then trying to be in control is also another bad thing. So I was just trying to basically let you understand what tempts you to break your rules. It can be ego. It can be you seeing somebody's results and you had no business trying to show. It can be you trying to prove you can mark up the charts. It's childish behavior. Don't do that. Don't do that. If right now you are still listening to me here and you are still comparing your chart to another person's chart, oh, I marked up this zone, me too, I marked up this zone, that is a childish way of talking as a trader. It's not necessary. You marked up this zone, no problem. Did you take the trade? Okay, did you make money? If the answer is no, just focus on your life and focus on your personality. Don't compare. You can compare to learn, but don't compare to show who is the best. And you see, you can pretend I'm just sharing it to basically let them know that, we are having a conversation. You are lying. That is a public self. And you can think in your head, hey, man, the way this guy marked up the chart, I don't even know. It's a private self. And the actual self of you is the one suffering. Don't do that. So at the end of the day, you need to let your other self that you know is holding you back go away. Let it go. So number 1, what did I say? How you react to waiting. Please observe it. How you respond to a bad trade. Please observe it. What tempts you to break your rules? Please observe it. When you feel drained and when you feel sharp, observe it. For me, I am more of a morning type. If you give me any work in the morning, I'm good to go. Somewhere in the afternoon, a little bit exhausted. And then in the evening, I kick in again. So I know myself. When I am hungry, I am not happy. This one, many of you are like that. It's fine. We are all in the same shoes. When you are hungry, there is a saying that a hungry man is an angry man. There are people when they don't even know they are hungry. They'll be like, have I even eaten today? Who are you asking me? Me, I know when I've not eaten. So when I'm hungry, I know. So sometimes when I'm hungry, it is not good for you to trade. When I'm thirsty, I don't want to trade because I'm dehydrated. You need to know yourself. So observe. Observe when you feel drained and observe when you feel sharp. There are people, they take energy drink to trade. Study it a little bit more, okay? There are people, you drink too much coffee to trade. Study yourself. Maybe you might have to start slowing down on the caffeine, because it may be the reason why you are struggling to become very sharp, because caffeine and in whether energy drink or actual coffee, they sometimes make you irritated. So if you have 2-3 stop losses in a row, we're going to talk about all of this during the trading, you will see. You guys are going to really benefit from this series a lot. Okay, so today is part 1. What is the part 1 again? I said today is part 1. The whole series is what? The psychology behind every strategy. And today is the you behind the strategy. I wanted to just explain strategy and then personality. Then now that we have gotten the foundational knowledge about personality and that there are types of personality, now we are good to go to study each strategist and each type of traders, and then the personality that it goes with and it's not good with. It's going to be an interesting masterclass. If you were putting something in the comments, I didn't see because I was very busy teaching. But at the end of the day, if today's masterclass blessed you, and if you felt something shifting in your mind to understand, and you are ready to go with us through this part 4 series of part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, I'm excited to meet you along the way as well. So make sure that you are preparing yourself. So while you are trading, you are observing. Okay, so this is why. Man, but I love scalping though. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to have to drop the scalping for now, because if I don't drop it, or you don't even have to drop it, you're going to understand how to tame that self of you in scalping, or in swing trading, or in position trading, or intraday. Ladies and gentlemen, with that all being said, welcome to the Psychology Behind Every Strategy series. It's going to be an incredible season of 4 masterclasses in a row. So be ready, be prepared. Invite everyone that you know needs to be here as well. It's going to be an incredible series. And so you don't want to miss it. You don't want anybody to miss it. And please make sure, if you're going to invite somebody to come on this masterclass next time, give them this masterclass. Let them watch it before the next one so that they can be able to understand. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you all and have an amazing evening. Bye-bye.
Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Trading is a mind game.